All right, do y'all want to start off by talking about the Joel Embiid drama or the Lakers drama? Because there's a whole lot of drama to go around this week.
Get the Lakers drama. We'll give LeBron what he actually wants. He's the most passive-aggressive superstar we've ever seen. He tweets like a 16-year-old on Snapchat. It's ridiculous.
This is black screen.
Yeah.
Hit my number. You know where to find me.
Don't text me. Don't call. Going ghost.
For somebody who like lets us know that he's almost 40, grow up. Like, come on, fam.
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
welcome back to another episode. As you see by the title, we're gonna do our midseason awards today. But before we get to that later in the episode, we have, as I also said, a ton of drama to get to. People are pissed about Joel Embiid missing games. People are calling him a ducker. Now he's actually hurt. People are pissed that he's going to miss so many games, not be able to be All-NBA and MVP. The Lakers are falling apart again. So much going on. So much to talk about. Let's just jump straight into it with Lakers talk.
the cranium is crazy. Oh my god.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters rejoice.
I almost forgot. Before we talk about the Lakers, we have an announcement that is currently on our body. We have new merch, y'all. We rebranded a while ago, got new logos and everything. You see it on the screen. The merch is finally here. You see I'm wearing the long sleeve. I got here we go. I got the corduroy hat with the white logo. Donovan got his shit on too.
That's different. That corduroy hat, that's different.
Donovan, is that a hoodie?
No one's doing it like this.
Is that a hoodie that I see on your body?
It is a hoodie with a hat. And
Oh my
I have
goodness.
long sleeve t-shirts. Listen, we have merch for days. You have to understand that. All right.
Mo has the short sleeve shirt. Man, we're here.
I got this short sleeve shirt. We got a purple short sleeve shirt. Of course, the immaculate hoodie. And then we got another shirt. And I also have a long sleeve just like Isaac. We are loaded from top to bottom. You guys should know where to find this. One of the first links in the description. Represent us, Crayon Eaters. Where you at?
Got the hoodie with the white logo
More
too.
hoodies.
In totality, we have the hoodie that Donovan's wearing, which has our regular logo embroidered, the orange ball and everything. Then we have the alternate hoodie that has the whiteout logo, where it's just white, no ball. A personal favorite of mine. We got two hats. Like I said, the corduroy hat with the white logo, and the one that Donovan's wearing, which is a more standard hat with the typical logo. All of these are embroidered, as well as a short sleeve t-shirt, which has an embroidered logo in the middle. Then we have the long sleeve, which this one's a little bit of a change of pace. It's not embroidered. We have a screen printed logo on here. It's a little more clear cut. So something for everybody.
Listen, run up the merch. If our merch gets big enough, we might have a TD3 Skims collab, right? Who knows, right? That's next on the list.
Fucking playing with me. Oh my god, all right? This is not funny. I'm serious about my Skims. Now, if they genuinely do that, hey, I might have to hit up Kim K myself. And we're going to get shit popping.
I don't know if she's going to respond to you, but you can try.
Along with the merch, we have another huge announcement, all right? In the TD3 universe, Isaac officially dropped.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Yeah, Isaac officially dropped
It's a big
his
week
show
for us.
by Isaac G, by your truly one and only Isaac Gutierrez. Isaac, tell me what the fuck is going on over there.
I almost forgot, honestly. I forgot to say anything, which would have been annoying because I definitely need to shout this shit out. Like you said, I got the first episode of the Isaac Gutierrez show. The show pop up on the screen right now. I'll make it a pinned comment, top link in the description, above the merch because I'm selfish. You go there, it'll be a show with just me. Like every week or so, I'm going to have like a 30-minute or so episode where I go through and give like 5 topics. They're going to be not rapid fire, but like 6 minutes or so on each topic. It's going to be like a mini podcast. We're going to do it every week on my personal channel as well as shorts, all the stuff you guys love to see, more Crayon Eater stuff. It's going to be great.
We are going to be everywhere, guys. The TD3 universe will continue to expand. Tune in.
There we go. Yep. Don't me subscribe because it doesn't. 100,000 of you are going to see this episode this week. That's the typical numbers we get. There's no reason why 100,000 of you shouldn't go check out the first episode for me and let me know what you think. I'll say that.
I get 15% of the proceeds that he makes off of his channel, so please tap in.
You're commissioned?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's enough self-promo. If you're watching the video on YouTube, drop a like and subscribe. If you're on audio platforms, 5-star review, blah, 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 blah. Let's talk about the Lakers. Donovan, I brought it up a second ago, and you immediately started going off about how LeBron's petty. He's doing too much. Tell us more.
Listen, no. I said that he was petty. I did not say he was doing too much because
Okay.
I'll say this. While it is extremely annoying that, like clockwork, we're going to get a LeBron tweet or a LeBron quote from a post-game interview after a loss that's incredibly passive-aggressive incredibly cryptic, and everyone's just like, LeBron, care to elaborate? While that's very annoying, I can't say it's not effective because he's gotten exactly what he's wanted every single time. So I get why he keeps doing it. But we're at the point, right? The Lakers suck. We've been talking about since the summer, since they signed, exactly, since they signed Rui, since they signed D'Lo. Everybody was like, listen, these contracts are great to be traded. Like, these guys have been out the door since July. So it's about time. Trade deadline is a week and a half away. I'm ready to see just how cryptic this message is for LeBron. Because does it mean that this year's over? Does it mean that Darvin Ham's gone? Does it mean that he doesn't want to be a Laker anymore? Who knows? But once again, LeBron decides to be passive aggressive, and it's not surprising anymore.
This is the most down bad the Lakers have been in the LeBron era. They were down horrendous with Russell Westbrook. I think this is an all-time low. I think this might be even worse. And not because they're a worse team. They're basically just as bad as we're with Russ now. Like, they had the resurgence post-trade last year, and this year all that progress is gone. They're basically in the same spot they were before. Darvin Ham, we talked about this at length. I defended Darvin Ham last year because I think he was legitimately really good in the playoffs last year, made smart adjustments, was a top half of the league coach. He has to be fired, I think, at this point. The team has clearly given up on him. Every time a player talks in the media, they always throw a slight little thing out there about coaching. It starts with coaching, blah, blah, blah. Like, they just throw these small hints out there that aren't exactly calling him out, but they're not giving him glowing reviews. It just seems like he's lost the locker room. He still is having the issues, at least from a fan perspective, with the lineups. It seems like nobody's happy with the players he's putting out there, which some of it's overblown. There's a lot of like hate towards Taurean Prince, which I think is a little too much. But he's playing Taurean Prince like he's like a fucking $30 million per year lockdown defender playing the biggest minutes of his career. Like, nobody can be happy with the way Darvin Ham's been coaching this team this year. Like Donovan said, the players aren't good enough. They're good to be traded. Nothing's working.
Yeah, I mean, at the start of the season, I think this was like one of the first 2-3 games of the season, there was a clip of LeBron out here saying, y'all know I'm a point guard too, right? And that's when he was really like forcing the Austin Reeves and D'Lo duo, and then that was right before Austin Reeves got benched because he was fucking ass. There's just like a lot of inconsistencies with the Los Angeles Lakers this season when it comes to lineups and all that. And I think by far the most discouraging part of all this is that like LeBron and AD are completely healthy. This is the healthiest we've seen AD in a very, very long time. Usually the story is whenever like the Lakers have some type of downfall, LeBron out for 10, 15 games, groin, hamstring, or whatever it might be. AD, we all know his injury troubles, but this year they're completely straight. And their downfall is just simply towards like roster construction is just straight cheeks, and just roster construction, really. That's the main issue. And Darvin Ham hasn't figured out 100%. How to elevate this team. So
100%. This team right now is only good when they have the starting lineup from last year with D'Lo, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. That lineup was only played like 13 minutes all fucking year, partially because Vanderbilt was hurt earlier in the year. And since then, they have like an elite defensive rating. It's like an 89, which is unsustainably good because it's such a tiny sample size. Because like I said, Darvin refuses to play it. And fans are clamoring left and right, telling him, you have to play this lineup. It's malpractice to not play the lineup that got you to the conference finals. What are you fucking doing? But also, we saw in the conference finals, you can't be a serious team starting Vanderbilt. So he's like, I'm not even going to try and do that. I'm going to try to, plan for a future. And to him, that means starting Taurean Prince and playing him a million minutes. So he's stuck between two bad options and hasn't nailed how to balance that. So like Mo said, roster construction issue. And I think now we're just left to look at it and realize that, we talk a lot about how the NBA explosion is happening with offense and how like the game is changing rapidly over the last few years. The game's different than it was in 2020 when this team won with that defense-oriented approach. This approach that they're having around these guys worked in 2020. It's just not working out at all right now, and they have to really, really reconsider the way they're trying to build around LeBron and AD.
It's funny because the Wizards are scoring 140 and the Lakers can't figure out how to get to 125, and they're the only team. The only adjustment, and obviously, right, there's been more, but the main adjustment that Darvin Ham has made this entire year was he started the season saying, oh yeah, LeBron's only going to play 25 to 30 minutes a night. And then was like, actually he has to play more. That's probably been the most significant change that he's made all year long. And My favorite.
I
joke,
wish that were true.
I guess so. My favorite joke though about Darvin Ham, which is a joke, but every time I see him, his hands are in his pocket and he looks so aloof, and it's just like there's nothing left for this Lakers team to do. Every other team in the Western Conference has passed them up, and I don't think that there's a move out there for them to get back to where they were. Like last year, that Western Conference Finals run, and granted, we saw it on the other side of the bracket with the Miami Heat. They were able to get into the play and go on this deep run, but stuff like that doesn't normally happen. You don't see teams from the 7th seed go and make a run to the conference finals. And that's because we had a very streaky Rui Hachimura. We had, like, Austin Reeves was playing out of his mind. Like, there were things that these players were doing that's just uncharacteristic of who they are now. And
Exactly.
I just, now that everybody has gone or come back to earth, the Lakers are, they're cooked. Like, whatever championship ceiling that you thought that they had, it's not there.
You know what's funny? Oh, for one, I'll say the point you made about Rui playing out of his mind is correct.
Mm-hmm.
What this team needs is a big forward who can defend a little bit and shoot 55% from three, like Rui did
Yeah.
for 3 weeks. Like that'd be nice. That would help a lot to have Larry Markin in there. Like that's basically what he did. But also, like, you know, we talked about the in-season tournament when the idea first came to conception. We were like, this would be super fun because some random mediocre team that is a playing type team will make this run, and like, you know, like a team like the Pacers is primed to be that team that peaks in this point of the year and can like snatch it from you know in a way you wouldn't really expect because they're not true contenders. Turns out that was the Lakers, the random mediocre team that made a run at the right time and had a fun couple
small
weeks.
market team, frisky playing.
That was them, and they fooled us, bro. And like, again, you said there's no move that'll fix this team one move wise. I agree, because the most likely move it seems is DeJounte Murray coming in exchange for D'Lo, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and a couple picks. DeJounte Murray is not coming in and fixing those motherfucking issues. Not even a little bit. This team needs a top-to-bottom restart and change their approach. They need shooters, which, you know, they're the lowest three-point rate team in the league. That's not a winning formula when LeBron's 39. That's not a winning formula when Anthony Davis isn't a spacer. That's not a winning formula when Jared Vanderbilt has to be in your lineup to have good defense and he doesn't shoot a lick. You just can't be a team that has the same amount of three-point rate as the Detroit Pistons.
With that being said, Zach LaVine, congratulations. You will be a Los Angeles Laker by next week.
I wish, bro.
Yeah, now we're at the point in time to where like they're literally handcuffed. There's not many moves that can elevate this team to the at least like competent level, make us at least think you have a chance in the regular season. Oh, they always do, because LeBron is LeBron at the end of the day and AD is AD. But regardless of the facts, they still need to make that move. And I think Zach LaVine at this point in time will give you the best opportunity to do so because of the firepower that he does generally have. And a lot of people forget how high level of a scorer he is when it comes to specifically his outside scoring or outside shooting. But a question that I have is like, if you were to go ahead and fire Darvin Ham, like that sounds like so easy to do. But the harder question that has to be answered after that is, who are you replacing him with?
An interim from the staff. It doesn't matter. They need a new person on there that they can have buy-in from the team, because it seems like they don't have a ton of faith in him, which also is us reading, you know, from like not being in the locker room. So who knows? But it needs a new voice, somebody that's not going to be actively destructive. But also like the tweet Nikhil had pulled up before this, it said that LeBron and AD have a plus 12 net rating whenever Taurean Prince is off the floor. And it's a plus 22 net rating whenever Reddish and Prince are both off the floor with LeBron and AD playing. That's the problem. Their role players that have around these guys fucking suck. And that's not going to be fixed by making Phil Handy the coach. You know, like they just need to find a Dorian Finney-Smith, to find a Bruce Brown, whoever it may be, and get in a new batch of guys that are going to help those two stars.
Yeah.
Listen, Rob Pelinka pulled off a miracle one time, and that was whatever he did last year. The way that he was able to get D'Lo and everybody else in that door, that is one of the best GMing moves that we've seen, right? And just finesses. He was able to turn that team around with absolutely nothing. I still don't understand how they were able to put that together. That's not happening in back-to-back years. You are not going to be able to flip everybody on your team to get all the necessary role players in there around LeBron and AD. And so if you fire Darvin Ham, listen, it might be time to tear this whole thing down. Right? It might. You wait until the summer. You fire Darvin Ham. You trade AD. right? Who at this point, when he's the healthiest he's been in 4 years now, he's probably at the peak of his value that you are going to get for the remainder of his career. You trade AD, you hire a new coach. You ask LeBron, do you want to be here for the rebuild or not? And
okay, you're going a little far. I don't. I will say,
what is their upside moving forward with LeBron being 40 years old? Like we've gotten to the point where Anthony Davis is the best player on the team on a night in night out basis, but you get to the playoffs, you still think like, okay, LeBron's going to lead us there. This that. Doing that to a 40-year-old LeBron and asking him to come back with this cast of role
doing that to him, he's a victim.
that part is actually wrong.
Wrong?
Oh
it is.
Goodness. You sound like he's.
It is.
Okay.
It is wrong.
Yeah.
No, it is wrong. It's like it's the same thing with the Warriors. Like if you have Steph Curry and you are not making the necessary changes to get like an actual roster, everybody at home is watching this. We can see that the team sucks.
Okay.
If you roll into next year,
trading AD and like preemptively doing it, unrealistic. You're not going to do that unless LeBron leaves. But I will say, the idea of LeBron being a free agent this summer is very under talked about. He can opt out, and if things keep going poorly, he can just bounce. And he can be like, I'm going to go to the Mavericks with Draymond, Luka, and Kyrie, and like do my own thing. Like, that's a non-zero possibility. Probably not more likely, because his son's playing in LA right now. He is in LA for a reason, for outside of the game. He loves being a Laker. Like, he probably won't do all that, but it's not impossible. And if that does happen, then do you want to build around AD and continue to do him be the star? It's not a horrible idea, but then maybe you're right. Maybe you got to trade him and just do a full scale rebuild. Like,
yeah.
But you go first, Mel. Say what you
I was just going to say
another point.
That conversation needs to be had, but I think you should wait for that conversation until it actually happens. When LeBron does make that decision, then of course I think you should probably trade away Anthony Davis, who's close to the peak of his powers, because he's going to be making like $70 million in 4 years from now, in the year 2028, which is just mind-boggling. But that's just the way the NBA is headed nowadays. And at this point in time, someone like Rob Pelinka just has to own it, eat the L's to the chest. He is one of the most mid GMs in the entire NBA. Like, who goes out and signs someone like Taurean Prince and expects him to be like play a heavy part on this team? Someone like Cam Reddish, who's been from team to team to team. He's literally he's been a nomad over the last few years. For you expect him to play that same exact type of role. He just screams complacency.
The problem isn't Rob Pelinka. Signing those guys isn't the issue. The problem is when the coach plays them 30 minutes a night. That's the issue. Rob Pelinka didn't sign Taurean Prince to be the wing stopper. Like they didn't sign him to be their OG Anunoby. I don't think that was Rob Pelinka's fucking vision. And Darvin Ham just got a hold of him and was like, "You're Bruce Bowen." That's a Darvin Ham issue.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. But at the same time, like, what else is Darvin Ham supposed to do? I think I agree. There's schematic things, rotational things that could be better. But at the end of the day, he just sat on his hands because he saw this product thrive once and he believed that they could do it again. And he believed in this mid-tier these mid-tier players whooping it up with LeBron and AD, which was just the wrong decision at the end of the day.
There wasn't a whole lot better options. I guess I could have pursued Kyrie, which reportedly they didn't want to because they wanted to stick with
idiotic
depth, which maybe that's a mistake. Again, who knows? There's so many moving parts there.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger problem is, if you can go to my Twitter, Nikhil, I retweeted a tweet from Nick Wright about this. The Lakers ownership has been awful ever since Dr. Buss died. And it's just like, again, they got the title because LeBron came and they got it. They made shit happen with LeBron and AD. But from the top down, Caruso walked. They lowballed Ty Lue and didn't get him. They are sitting on their hands and not doing anything about Darvin Ham. There is reports that they're not even thinking about firing him, which I guess is fair. You don't have to fire him. It's not a necessity. But to not do it is to do the inverse of what the Bucks did, where they realized you can't waste a year of this core. We have to make a move sooner rather than later. The Lakers take the opposite approach in every which way. There's no preemptive decision-making that comes from a smart analytic standpoint where you're like, we need to do a value add here and figure out how to put our team in the best position. It's like there's nobody in the Lakers front office that's thinking about things this way, and they're more so just like going by the seat of their pants, just doing whatever in a very unprofessional way.
Damn, man.
Listen,
that's go ahead.
I listen. They are also and this is just by like NBA standards, the Lakers front office and the ownership group is one of the broke boys in the NBA, right? they don't have the luxury of like across the street with Steve Ballmer and him having $100 billion and saying, okay, you know what? We can go ahead and fire this person, or we can go into the luxury tax and do all this. Like we can be a little bit impatient and pay the money to do all that because I have all the money in the world. Like their money is tied up in the Lakers. And so it's not like they're not that breaded.
No, they're not breaded. Yeah, they're not billionaires.
Exactly. And
yeah,
so
they're literally Jeannie Buss's business is the Lakers. Like she doesn't have a Microsoft stock that Steve Ballmer has.
Yeah, and
Damn.
so they're kind of
Yo,
forced.
fucking watching like shit right now. I love it.
I mean, it's the truth, but they're kind of forced into continuity. But like with LeBron, and I think we've seen this with every single era of LeBron wherever he's been at. This point always comes. This point always happens. After LeBron started to take control of his career and started to go on this path, it always goes this way where you have a year of building, right? You have your title run, and then towards the end of it, it's a flame out. We're trying to get people in and out, right? Coaches are being moved around. So I understand that like the Lakers have kind of been forced into this, but there's also kind of LeBron's model. And so if we're just going off of history, now is the time where LeBron finishes the year and he goes somewhere else. And that's just probably how it's going to be.
I think this one's a little bit different though, because in those past circumstances, like the past Cleveland stint, obviously LeBron had his hands on everything. They did things at his whim. He had all the power in the relationship coming back to his home team that needed him. This time, we give LeBron a lot of flack for the Russell Westbrook trade because he advocated for that pretty vocally, clearly, and it happened and it was a mistake. But also, we can point to that and say maybe he had influence there. He wanted Alex Caruso. They didn't do it because they were cheap. He wanted Tyronn Lue. They didn't do it because they were cheap. He wanted Kyrie. They didn't do it. Probably because they're motherfucking cheap. So maybe he doesn't
also because Kyrie was very, very volatile last year, and it was like I don't know if we could bring him into this situation.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a good excuse for being motherfucking cheap. But either way, it sounds like LeBron doesn't have quite the influence he had this time that he did with the Cavs. Maybe he's not trying to. He doesn't want to do too much. Maybe he doesn't like that label he once had. So I don't think it's necessarily the LeBron effect. Maybe we give him too much credit for the Russ Westbrook trade when maybe he was just like a fan of what Rob Pelinka was already thinking.
Sound like LeBron need to open his pockets too. Start giving people jobs at Spring Hill.
Now, one thing that I'll say is that something that will give me just an ounce in a glimmer of hope for the Lakers is if I did see them make a trade for someone like Zach LaVine, and not to say that he's a game changer, but having someone like Kyle Lowry would make things a little bit more interesting for the Lakers. Again,
Lowry,
not
cooked.
a game changer, but that's how you guys are looking at this
in
season
2024.
Yeah, when you 4 more games with them charges, bro, that he be taking all the time. You need something.
Beyond belief.
Yeah,
that's
but
not
honestly,
I'm gonna scream.
You're just trying to add one more IG model to the Staples Center every night. That's all you're trying to do.
You know what's funny? In that Russell Westbrook trade last year, they could have just had Mike Conley. They flipped Mike Conley for D'Lo. They didn't have to do that. They could have just did the trade with the Jazz and got Vanderbilt, Beasley, and Conley. You know how much better they'd be if they had Mike Conley right now? It'd be perfect.
That's this will be not a completely different Lakers team because they probably still would have some of these underlying issues. But man, it would be life would be so much smoother with someone like Mike Conley. That's what he does, bro. Sucks,
it would help. And it was funny. You said Zach LaVine. I would love Zach LaVine at Lakers. There's a report yesterday. It wasn't by Shams or anybody, but there's a report that they're reportedly not going to make any big trades. They're going to keep their core together, which is a whole nother topic because they're fucking terrified of rebuilding, and it's hilarious. They're the new Raptors. The Bulls are a fucking joke if that's true.
Yeah, it's just I just find it so funny because a couple of months ago, when everyone still had somewhat hope for the Lakers, and they just need a little bit of time to figure it out. Austin Reeves is going to bounce back and stuff like that. And as soon as the Zach LaVine news broke out, everyone's like, "Oh, new Laker, Austin Reeves and or D'Lo and a pick." Yeah. You're like, "Fuck no, I don't want this shit. And now you're down bad as fuck crying,
Exactly.
begging on your knees.
I'm still not.
For this man. You're writing Zach LaVine love letters right now, I bet.
I'm still not thrilled about paying Zach LaVine $40 million a year, and I'm damn sure not thrilled about DeJounte Murray, but I'll take what I can motherfucking get. Like at this point, like make something happen.
Would you be interested in the Dennis Schroeder experiment once again?
Yes, I never wanted him to go. Dennis Schroeder was awesome for them. I don't know why they let him walk. I do know because he got squeezed out, but I always liked him a lot.
Yeah, he was one of the few players that helped them give them an identity in terms of just like, yo, he can be on the court through almost any situation possible. He's one of those unschemable players. Develop his 3-point shot. Was an absolute dog. He was a dog defensively. He was a dog defensively. Players. Yeah, you can't take him out the game. Yeah, you can't take him out the game. He was one of those players you're like, all right, we need you and Dennis alongside AD and LeBron.
There's a difference though. You can't take him out the game because the team sucks because there's no better option, right? It's not because Dennis Schroeder makes it sound like he's dropping 40.
Yeah, you see what you know what I mean though.
Make him sound like he's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. No, but he was their best point of attack defender, and it helped them a lot to have that strong point guard defender. Like I liked him more than D'Lo. Like you had to pay D'Lo because like you don't want to lose him for nothing. But I always was like low key trade him and keep Schroeder.
I just love to see you down bad in terms of your team, man.
Anyways, let's move on from this fucking team. Let's talk about a team that's up right now. Let's switch from my misery to Donovan rejoicing. We're going to spread the love to you because the New York Knicks are fucking incredible. They're up to the 3 seed in the East. They are the best defense in the league by far over the past 2 weeks since they got OG Anunoby. They have like a 98 defensive rating, which is insanity for that sample size. And they're just shackling everybody, beating the shit out of everybody on the offensive rebounds. Jalen Brunson's a god. Julius Randle's hurt. Prayers. OG Anunoby's a perfect piece for them. Amazing. Hartenstein is a dog.
Hate my life so much. And Taj Gibson is back too. You have everything.
He's never leaving.
This never says the New York Knicks gave up 110 points or more exactly one time in the month of January. What?
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
League average offensive rating.
Bing bong. Bing bong. You bums. Everybody's out here giving up 140. The Knicks don't give up 110. The defense is fantastic. This is exactly, right? This is exactly. And we talk a lot about teams who have no idea what they're doing. The New York Knicks know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly who they are. They have an identity. And the fact that, listen, Mitchell Robinson, who is one of the best, I love this. First of all, this is one of my favorite videos and one of my favorite memes is Pat Bev and the Timberwolves crying after the play, and it's amazing.
Golden era.
But this is how I feel, right? Because even with Mitchell Robinson out, and even with one of the best offensive rebounding bigs in the league gone, Isaiah Hartenstein has stepped up to the plate. Jericho Sims, Taj Gibson, all these guys playing the 5. The Knicks are still the best offensive rebounding team in the league, right? The Knicks they are still one of the best defensive rebounding teams in the league. They don't foul at a very, very high rate. Jalen Brunson since I guess this month, right? Since the start of 24, is averaging 29 and 8 a game, shooting nearly shooting 50% from the field. OG Anunoby is everything that Tom Thibodeau, that the Knicks needed, right? They needed a wing. They needed a 3-and-D wing who can actually shoot threes and actually play defense, and everything that they were trying to make RJ Barrett do. OG Anunoby is actually that. The Villanova Wildcats, everybody has come in there. They know how to play together. This team, and I talked about it on the stream on Monday. I said that
8 p.m. Tune in.
Exactly. There was a possibility that this team gets to the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference if the Bucks keep sliding, because now that Joel Embiid is hurt, on Tuesday, whenever we streamed, the Knicks overtook the 76ers. They are now the 3 seed in the East. This team, do not let Mitchell Robinson come back, because I'm telling you right now, I'm letting you know right now, if he comes back and Julius Randle is healthy, we're going to the conference finals. And Boston, if it's a 3-point game with 5 minutes to go, I promise you're losing, because none of y'all know how to play down the stretch. God. This team is fantastic. Oh my goodness. And all you, both of you, try to gaslight me. Tell me that the Atlanta Hawks were going to be better. Don't think I forgot.
We're so off the Hawks. Shut up.
Don't think I forgot. You didn't think we were going to do this, and I knew. And I tried to tell y'all, but y'all didn't want to listen.
First of all, OG Anunoby wasn't a Knick when we said that declaration, so go fuck yourself. then we're so past the Hawks. Fuck them. On the
It
episode of my
doesn't
show
matter
that came
who's
out-
hurt. It doesn't matter who's on the team. This team is up. This team is
No, it
up.
matters a lot. It matters a lot because OG Anunoby makes
This team
all
is
the difference.
up. Why? Because
We talked
Jalen
about-
Brunson, all-star starter snub. Come on now.
Ass celebration. Let's
Come
move
on
on.
now.
Isaac, what's your point?
At least he
God
can do
damn
that
it.
celebration more than Trae Young because he's knocking everything down, right?
No.
Every shot he puts
I
up
get your
goes
point.
in.
I understand you're going to gloat for your team from the jump of the year. You have blind confidence in them because of your team. But they are such a night and day different team with OG Anunoby now.
No,
Like, I
it's
get it,
actually
I get it,
completely
like,
different. It's actually completely
completely
different.
different,
I actually like watching this team play right now. It's
I
actually
know, like,
very
at the end of
fun.
the year, I did not like watching them at all.
Yeah.
And OG, I was listening to the Thinking Basketball podcast where Ben Taylor was talking to Dave DeFore, who's a guest he has on a lot. He works for The Athletic, does a lot of podcats for them. And he said that he thinks OG right now is the same level of player as like a tertiary third starter as like Chris Middleton, which he means like better Chris Middleton, not like
Yeah.
this version. And he's right. Like you might say that might sound crazy because OG's like not a scorer. You don't think about him as like low level all star. But in terms of impact to winning, ability to play next to other stars, fill all the gaps you want. He can play small ball five. He can guard guards. He can guard big forwards. He can stretch the court in the corners. He's a great cutter. All this stuff. He is absolutely perfect to play next to stars. And like, it's so funny because we talked about for years now that we wanted OG to be traded and go to another team to be with a winning team and like show his strengths from a team that actually needs them and like fits him well. And this is the best version of that possible. You can't imagine a better coach for OG Anunoby than Tom Thibodeau.
He
All the
found
stuff
his
they do
Luol
with
Deng.
offensive rebounding, he's perfect. Exactly. He's a new Luol Deng. Just the strength shows, the size shows, the tenacity. He plays like 42 minutes a game. Like it's glove and hand fit.
Yeah, nah. Tom Thibodeau saw him, just saw another 6'8", 6'9" African dude, and he was like, my Luol Deng, my sweet king, I needed you and I missed you. And yeah, I completely agree. The impact is surreal. The stats, the little 15, 16, sometimes 18 points he'd be giving them, that does not explain how valuable he is on the court. It doesn't show the spacing that he provides. It doesn't show the just opportunity and the gateways of positive stuff happening on the court, the boxing out, the defense, just being a blanket and filling up whatever holes that the Knicks might have at the moment on the court. There's just so much that he does and that he provides that allows the Knicks to be on another level of like contender. And I said I think on the stream the other day that this team could easily upset a team like the Boston Celtics, not the Celtics, but they get upset one of the better teams in the Eastern
You
Conference.
were right. You were right. You're
They
right.
could do
So,
that.
You mentioned the boxing out. I want to talk about that a little bit because this team, even outside of the OG Anunoby fixing things, even before this trade, they were already one of the better offensive rebounding teams. Already, they don't foul a lot. They were profiled as a good defensive team that took them a bit to put it together. They are so unbelievably well coached on that end right now. Like Tom Thibodeau has his flaws, but this year he's having one of the best coaching just like spectacles he's had in years, doing his strengths well. Like I was again listening to Thinking Basketball podcast. I was listening to them talk about the subject, and like Dave Dufour mentioned something I had to go back and watch myself. The way they box out, you know, like obviously there's a lot of 3-point shots these days that create the long rebounds. They like box in. They'll basically like box the big men in so when the long rebounds come, they can come out and get it. Like the inverse of a box out.
Yeah.
They do that incredibly disciplined. They do have a lot of cutters. Josh Hart and Anunoby cut a lot, puts them in position to get offensive rebounds. Julius Randle puts his head down and fucking drives to the rim. It's kind of ugly sometimes, but you know, he does what he does. That leads to offensive rebounds because he's always around the rim. Like they know how to maximize opportunities to do their strengths well on that side when it comes to the boards, not fouling a lot, all that type of stuff. They just know themselves incredibly well.
Yeah. And I listen, even among this entire month, it's been amazing. There's two things that are like that we have to keep our eye on. One is the fundamental and like the foundational pieces of our defense. Those things are for real because we have been doing them all year. The other thing is for the Knicks to hit this high end right now, since this entire month, they're second in the league in opponent 3-point percentage, right? The teams are shooting 32% from three against them. And so that's going to come back to the middle a little bit. But again, just like the ability to not give extra points at the free throw line, to not give second chance points, and for a team that doesn't play fast, right? This team really, really is slowing the game down. They're bottom 5 in pace since the start of the year. And I'm referencing the start of the year because this team really is pre-OG Anunoby and post-OG Anunoby. It's two different things that you're looking at. And they slow it down. And so when there's a limited amount of possessions and you are not giving up an extra point here, an extra point there, right, an extra rebound there, all those things add up and matter. And in a playoff context, this is exactly what you want to see, right? So if you are going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers, which we saw last year, they were able to out-physical them. Jalen Brunson is amazing in isolation. Julius Randle, when he has it going, he's amazing in isolation. And so the ability to create for themselves, and then everybody else, like Dante DiVincenzo, the big ragu, he's been shooting lights out. There's so many things that you can play off of that where I think that I truly think that this team has a conference finals ceiling. And depending on and I'm so serious, depending on the shooting luck that Boston has, if we end up playing them, which granted, they have played them fairly well over the last like 2-3 years. Depending on the shooting luck that they have, they could beat them. I don't think it would be an easy series. I don't think it would be an easy series at all. We've seen the Celtics go very, very cold, and all it takes is 2 games, and the series is boom, it's switched. So this team, listen, the ceiling is a lot higher than what a lot of people may think it is.
I think the floor is incredibly high. Like they're not losing the first round. I don't think. I'm ready to rule that out.
I agree.
It's just hard. Like it's so hard when you know they have their limitations with their top end talent offensively. That like it's like Jalen Brunson versus the world, and we saw in the second round of the playoffs, Jalen Brunson was really good and effective, but it's hard for him to be effective getting his own shot and also creating offense for the rest of the team because he's just like not a particularly strong playmaker. And he's very get his own shot oriented. You throw doubles at him and he's not Luka Doncic. He can't jump up and throw a dot to the corner. He can't be Jokic throwing a dot to the cutter every time you double him. Like doubling him is actually effective. Same type of thing we see against like a Trae Young in the playoffs. Because their lack of size that restricts their passing ability in those scenarios, it's hard for them when they don't have another really strong creator on offense. And that's just like an inevitable ceiling limiter, I think, with the way this team's construction is until they get like whoever the next star is with all the assets they have.
Exactly.
So I just don't know how to project their ceiling.
I think I'd be willing to like put them into championship contention ceiling range once they figure out who that second star is or potentially first star is or whatever. And all lights point towards Julius Randle. I think he can only take you so far as the second best player on the team, and it's just a time thing for the New York Knicks. Right now, the entire front office is in lockstep. This is the best and most aligned that I've seen this team since I've ever started watching basketball, bro. I've never seen them this competent head to toe. The roster aligns, coach's vision aligns. Like everything is working beautiful for them right now.
I will say, I wasn't like super high on the idea of a Donovan Mitchell trade because like the 2 small guard thing. What we're seeing now with OG Anunoby there and how strong their defensive principles are, I think it makes a lot of sense, honestly. I think they have one of the rare team constructions that can build around 2 small guards and it not be an issue. I think if things don't go well in Cleveland and the summer comes around, they still have these assets, they still have the Julius Randle contract. I'm very hopeful for the team's future if something like that does happen.
I agree. I want to push back on something that you said though.
No.
I'm gonna do it anyways.
Shove him.
in the idea that like the high end talent, like Brunson in the second round series against Miami, he was going crazy.
Yeah,
right.
He was a great scorer. Yeah, he numbers barely dropped.
And he was averaging 30 over 30 a night, shooting 50% from the field in that series. The problem was in that, especially in the closeout game, RJ Barrett is going 3 or 14 or whatever. What him and Julius Randle were putting up tour date shooting splits. The very big thing is like if that's OG Anunoby in the corner rather than RJ Barrett, what are you getting? Because if anybody else had decided to step up, like Quentin Grimes wasn't there, like he wasn't showing up, quickly had a bad series. If anybody else decided to help out Jalen Brunson, there's a very real possibility that they could have won that series, especially with the way that Miami was. And so now I'm just looking at it and you see the fact that they are able to, again, create extra possessions for themselves, that OG can do a lot of things off ball, and the fact that you have somebody who can legitimately say, hey, that's their best player, go guard them, make life hard for them, right? Go make them work. They can make the conference finals, and they 100%, I think, should be taken seriously as a finals contender.
For sure. Let me explain more of what I mean with the Jalen Brunson things, because I know you know what I mean, but people are Knicks fans, you know, they're so fucking defensive of Jalen Brunson. They got on Candace Parker's ass for saying in the second round playoffs, he wasn't quite as effective. And they were like, he averaged, like you said, averaged 30 and 6, 50% from the field. I agree. He was perfectly fine. The problem is, like you said, it's because RJ Barrett, people in them, like, were in the corners not being able to hit a thing. That's the problem. Jalen Brunson can be extremely effective scoring the ball. You're not going to slow him down in that way. And the possessions where he's not getting his shot and he has to pass it off of because he's doubled, he's throwing it to the side. And those guys can't do a thing with the ball in their hands. And that's what I mean the issue is because he's not a high-level passer, you need a really strong secondary playmaker. That they need like a Draymond Green, a whoever that can get on the short roll and make passes. They still don't have that. As great as OG Anunoby is, he's not a strong on-ball playmaker. So they still don't have that release valve that can complement Jalen Brunson that way and make up for the passing deficiencies. And that's the issue there. Not necessarily that Jalen Brunson's going to like shoot poorly.
Yeah, and I think that just comes with time as they continue to figure out how to elevate this offense. Just to make it simple, they need more layers to their offense and a couple more counters because I don't want to say it's predictable, but it is kind of predictable. Jalen Brunson's unstoppable in my opinion.
It's very
predictable. Yeah. Jalen Brunson's amazing at creating his own shot. He's just not the type of floor raiser he is for other people. He's not making everybody's life around him easier, which is no like affront to him. He's great at what he does. That's just not his game. And they need somebody who that is their game, you know?
I agree.
Here's what it is. Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are gonna hit you in the mouth over and over and over and over. Yeah. And he's gonna give you the shimmy shake. He's gonna throw his shoulder into your chest. He's gonna move you back. And for a lot of people in the league, there's absolutely nothing you can do. And when we get down to playoff basketball, I'm very, very curious. I think a lot of this hinges on Julius Randle's health because I think if he is healthy and can be somewhat effective, if he's not shooting 2 of 15, which is at this point, we've seen a couple playoff runs where he has done that. And it might be a very big ask at this point. Please, Julius Randle, if you can shoot 6 of 17, we're cooking. Like, listen, the bar's the floor right now. Because Jalen Brunson, he's going to come out. He's going to make big shots. We've seen him take a leap in his 3-point shot this year. Guys, this team is different. This team is it's different than every other Knicks team that we've seen. The potential here is sky high.
Yeah, man, they're awesome. Like it's just so cool when you see a team that knows themselves, like I said, knows their strengths and their weaknesses, and instead of like trying to seek out something to like change the team because they're not good enough and like completely alter those strengths. They just double down on the strength and just strengthen their strength and get better at what they do well. It leads to awesome shit like this, where you just have such a competitive advantage in so many key areas on the court that even if we know you're not like the Celtics, you're not the Nuggets, whatever, you're just such an interesting team.
We are a game and a half out of the 2 seed.
Yeah.
Hey, man, guys. It's going to happen. We're going to be the 2 seed. We're probably going to play. Let's say Miami wins the play-in. We get Miami in the first round.
That's tough though. That's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough. Rock fight.
Yeah, that's.
But I'll take us.
Tough.
I'll take us versus anybody.
I don't want to see first round Jimmy in the playoffs. You know, first round Jimmy, he fucking has all the energy in the world from the whole regular season of coasting before he burns out in the conference finals.
We'll lock him up.
He's on one.
Yeah, those are the 2 most gritty and grindiest teams in the entire NBA. Like in order to win this bitch. Tom Thibodeau gonna need to pull out tables, ladders, and chairs, and fucking there's gonna be complete chaos on the court, bro.
Don't let us see Orlando.
Basketball ever.
If we see Orlando in the first round, we might sweep. Like,
you 100% sweep, or 1,000% sweep Orlando. I think
sweep. Dang, Paulo can't get one. Franz can't get one. Jonathan Isaac can't get one.
Those games will be a rock fight. That's gonna be 2008 basketball, 69. 82 to 81. It's going to be good.
I don't want to throw any. I hate to be the guy to throw shots at the Orlando Magic. Such a feel-good story. They would get their backs blown out by the Knicks.
Sweat.
Wow.
We might. Knicks in 3.
And with that being said, Isaac, people are going to pick what you just said and label you as a Magic hater because these folks are in their fucking feelings. Talking about, oh my God, you're Scott Paulo a shot chucker. Fuck you, dude. You're just fucking a hater. I understand what you mean. And I like semi-agree to it. This is not going to be competition at all. These 2 teams are not even on the same level remotely. But it'll be interesting and the Knicks should handle their business if this comes. But yeah, you're right. The Orlando Magic, they have slid like a motherfucker injuries have been beating their ass consistently.
Yeah.
And people have been in and out of the lineup on a consistent basis too. So it's like they're kind of cooked, but they still met expectations in my opinion. They're doing exactly what they should be doing.
Seed. Yeah. It's a good season. You know, they weren't expected to be like a top 5 team. So no affront to them, like I said.
Also, fire theme song, best theme song in the NBA.
Correct.
You have a lot going for you, Orlando. Good job.
You ever seen those things that the Detroit Lions TikTok page does whenever somebody talks bad about them and they win, they like put them in a TikTok?
Yeah.
Like ratio Theo Ash.
Yeah.
Fucking Orlando Magic fan do that to me.
That is hilarious.
They're getting their backs blown out. Meanwhile, they beat the Knicks in the first round.
That would never happen.
I'm safe.
If it happens, I'm gonna be here yapping about it.
All right, man. That's too much Knicks talk. You got your ego stroked a little bit. Let's move on. I think we talk about the other drama piece that's going on this week. There has been a lot made about Joel Embiid and whether or not he plays certain games. You know, it started last week. He didn't play the game against the Denver Nuggets after seemingly being healthy, and he was a late scratch, was never on the injury report, got scratched like a half an hour before the game started. And people were pissed. I saw people comparing him to Hitler. People were being so dramatic.
Oh my God.
People were going crazy. Like, the fans were just like, he gets so much vitriol, it's crazy. People were acting like he decided to sit out. Legitimately, they think he's ducking games, like he doesn't want to play in Denver. Like, people have the type of brain rot where they actually think that Joel Embiid saw the schedule and was like, I don't want to play there. Which, like, I don't know. I try not to, like, be too disrespectful to people who have certain views.
That is not true.
You're a fucking idiot if you think that. Like, no, like, you're fucking stupid if you think that. Like, you're genuinely fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And it's just hilarious.
Isaac calls people stupid more than anybody else. He loves it. Don't let him fool you.
He has every right to do it too. He has every right to do so, because we saw this play last night against the Golden State Warriors. He was just running, and all of a sudden he tries to jump. He has zero lift. It looks like someone absolutely just sniped his knees from the stands, bro. He shouldn't have played last night.
100%.
Exactly.
He shouldn't have played. People thought it was a fake injury, whatever, yada, 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 bullshit. And then he comes back. He misses the next game as well. He plays the Warriors 2 nights ago. He's questionable, and he pushes through. Clearly because he's trying to not be labeled this way, right? He hears what people say about him every year. And like you just said, he gets hurt again in the Warriors game. And now he's going to be out for who knows how long. And I say all this to say, all of this is because this fucking 65 game threshold that has he made to be an all-NBA team and MVP, he's trying to hit that 65 games because why wouldn't he, right? It's a great accomplishment you want to get. And it's leading to him being hurt. We saw the same thing happen to Tyrese Halliburton, who missed 8 straight games and came back too early from a hamstring because he wanted to make All-NBA and get the Supermax, got hurt again. It's just leading to nonstop negatives.
It's cooked. It's sad. I hate to see it so much. I hate everything that Adam Silver has done to my league. Just kidding, hyperbole, of course. But in terms of this right here, he's just being this stern in order to go ahead and like secure this TV deal bag. I get it, but at the same time, this shit was so illogical, and they did not run through the worst case scenarios. And the worst case scenario in this situation is that we're seeing one of the greatest scoring seasons, point blank period ever, not only from a big man or anything like that, just point blank period ever, just go not unnoticed, because in our minds, I'm sure that we're all going to agree he should have been MVP this season. That's assumed that he doesn't hit that 65 game threshold, all because of TV deal money. That's all it comes to at the end of the day.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
I've gone back and forth on this rule because on one hand, like I understand wanting the winners of these awards to have played a significant like part of the season, right? I understand that. I understand trying to put pressure on people to actually play in these like marquee games because that's what you're selling the TV does. I understand like it's a business, it's a product, and you're trying to prioritize that. However, there's the other side where Joel Embiid, quote unquote, ducked, right, sat out on a nationally televised game. You are still getting that this year. And so when you go back in the offseason and they start talking about the rules and stuff like this, everything that you tried to prevent was still able to happen under the 65 game rule. And I don't know. It's really tough because again, I understand wanting to have like the top award, say this person played this much, they deserve it. And if you weren't available, then you can't be eligible for this award. Like I do get that.
Let me address that, because this has been a very I'm just going to be another part of me calling people fucking stupid. I'm just going to be on one today. I hate this discourse. It's such an annoying argument.
I told you because
I've been so annoyed the past few weeks. It's a running theme. I'm so annoyed by discourse lately. I need to get off Twitter. It's just fucking making my blood boil. But the argument, like you're saying, people are saying it's just such a smug response where they're like, is it really that crazy to make them do their job and play the games? That's why they're paid. Boo-hoo. They make millions to play the games. That's the whole point. I'm not going to feel bad. And it's just so smug and just like surface level. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just like, they should play the games. But like, duh. The argument isn't that you should let people win MVP if they play 40 games. The point is, the voters were going to legislate that regardless. If somebody plays 60 games and somebody plays 82, the voters are already going to account for that.
You've seen it before.
That's already in stone. That's going to be a thing. So the point is, doing a hard line at 65 and forcing them to play through injuries is just doing more harm than good, especially for all NBA, where there's a big monetary attachment to it for young players trying to get the different levels of max contracts. Like we could go out here and be like, I think it should just like not be that. 65 is a hard line, is ridiculous. It should still matter though. They should play the games. And they'll respond like, so you're saying games don't matter? And it's just like, that's just a 1 point thing that there's no level of arguments to it. It's so dumb.
Because of this rule, we're going to see guys like Tyrese Halliburton potentially miss out on like $20 to $40 million in terms of incentives, because he might not be able to hit this threshold because we're 50 games or whatever it is into the season so far. And now, like, to the people watching who has that line of thought process where it's just like, yeah, they should be able to play. If you don't play, you don't get paid or whatever. Bro, let's be real. If something happens to you at your job, at your day-to-day job, meaning like you did nothing wrong, you just been doing your thing, you're going to get time off. And that's due to respect to your employer, because you got hurt in line of work and shit like that. And so same thing applies here. It's just a normal thing. No one's ducking and dodging. They're just doing what's best. They should be doing what's best for the organization, the team, their career, and all in all, big picture, the NBA.
And it's also just dumb that we, for some reason, I don't know what discourse made us get this way. I think it was probably Anthony Davis. We've started to talk about injuries as if it's like a flaw of somebody, and it's like they're just pussy and like they're doing it on purpose, and like it's a character flaw. Like they should just be tough and not get hurt. Like so much of that is outside of the control of the people. You know, you can tweak your ankle, you never know what happens. And we're treating it like it's like an affront to the game that people are getting hurt more now. Like it's just like back in my day, we didn't get injured. We played through games. Like it's such a weird moral stance people are making.
I feel like this started to really brew back in like 2013, 2012, back in them not peak Spurs days, but when the Spurs were really, really fucking good. And we would see guys like Greg Popovich just hit his entire starting lineup and not give a single fuck to the entire NBA. He just like, I'm just benching everybody. Why? Because I said so. And we've seen players, teams do that here and there, in and out. And I think a lot of fans just like have miscues and just the wrong entire thought process about things. They don't understand like the back end things happening. Most of the time, it's coaches and medical staff and people like that trying to emphasize rest so they can be at peak performance when all this shit matters the most.
Yeah. I think the NBA, one of the things that like becomes a different conversation is they have to figure out where the incentives get placed from, right? So like, are they going to be all NBA? Is it going to be from All-Star stuff? Because let's say that somebody gets hurt throughout the season, but like the first half of the year they were balling, they made the All-Star team, but they missed the second half of the year because of injury, and now they can't make All NBA. Like, should we attach the monetary stuff to the All-Star stuff? The system right now just feels a little weird. I think because of how much players get hurt, and now because you're trying to mandate where people, like how much people have to play, the system feels like it needs a kind of complete overhaul. And I don't know, with the way that discourse is, this rule felt like Adam Silver just being like, all right, people are mad about the games. All right, like you have to play a certain
Literally.
amount of games. Like he just threw something at the wall, and there's not that much like thought into it. And so now we get into 1 year of it happening, and everybody's like, "Yo, this rule is kind of stupid, right?" Like now you're costing me $40 million because my hamstring got tweaked, and I was trying to do that for you. I think that maybe switching it to different criteria or having those incentives built into your contract might have to be changed moving forward if we're going to keep this rule, when in actuality we probably have to get rid of it.
Yeah, 100%. It's just a very like, I just don't, it's such a lack of critical thinking about like the possible outcomes. Like you said, it's just directly to negate load management. And it's just such a narrow, I feel like it's such a narrow view of why people why load management happens and what we should do about it. It's a very lazy reaction to it, I think.
Look at
TV
Adam
money.
Silver messing up again.
TV money. That's all. That's all.
And the
they're
PA
talking
let this
about.
happen. Like they probably just like had to for negotiation for other stuff, but like it's honestly crazy the NBA PA let this happen. Honestly,
Grant Williams, vice president. We are looking at you right now.
You are a suspect.
Goodness. Exactly.
Who's
You
the
are
president?
a scammer.
I think Kyrie's the president of the NBA PA.
Is he?
still.
I think is it Kyrie? Because
No,
I know
it can't be.
Let me see.
At one point he was.
I'm gonna
I
look
don't
this
think
up.
they do re-elections
Is
pretty
it
often.
CJ McConnell? Oh my goodness. No way it's this dude.
Yeah, it's
Is
CJ.
it? Oh yeah, it is.
Kyrie is not on there anymore. He's been gone.
Yeah, I'm like, Kyrie after all these years?
I forget who's on the PA.
Kyrie was there in like 2017. He's been gone.
Ah, man, Isaac, can you imagine being told, damn, y'all skipped out on the stream Monday because Isaac has a tummy ache? Y'all ain't getting paid this week. Go to hell. You sick to our
Man,
stomachs.
it's just such a bad rule. Like, let that be a subjective thing. Like, in 65 games is such a bad threshold.
It's terrible.
If it was
It's
60
terrible.
games, would you guys feel any different?
I guess it'd be marginally better, but either way, I think same principle. Let the voters decide this and let them weigh it individually. Because like it's so subjective. Like some years, 55 games won't make sense with third team All NBA because they had one of the greatest seasons you've ever seen, and there's not a lot of tough competition there. Like maybe Bam Adebayo gets hurt too, and it's between like Jared Allen or Joel Embiid for third team All NBA. You're gonna go the guy that played 55 games but was a god. Some years there's gonna be Anthony Davis in running for third team All NBA, so you're gonna put him there. Like let it be a year-to-year thing depending on what award and what comparison we're making. To put a hard line in any way, I think is just unnecessary.
I agree, man. It's tough. And seeing stuff like this happen where like during the offseason, Adam Silver was on JJ Redick's podcast and he was talking about, oh yeah, I'd love to see the game be talked about in a way where we're diving into the X's and O's, and then bullshit like this is in place. And this is completely getting away from the X's and O's and all the actual interesting stuff that we're talking about or that we're supposed to talk about, because this is like robbing people, robbing fans, robbing just NBA history as a whole of monumentous, like huge moments that we should all be raving about and telling our kids about and shit like that. It's hilarious.
Yep. Anyways, now Jokic is gonna get MVP number 3, so there's that. I guess that's just
Woo-wee.
new discourse. New next Jokic MVP's gonna drop.
That's sick.
Is it going to
People are forcing the Shea narrative, but I think when the voting comes around, you're going to look at them side by side and be like, they have basically the same record, and Jokic is Jokic.
Yeah.
Like, I know Shea's cool and fun, but it's Jokic who's playing the same way he always has. Like, I imagine media voters are going to side with him.
Wait until after the All-Star break, right? And we can use this as a transition because Embiid's his MVP case is done, right? He's missing. Yeah, he's missing tomorrow's game against the Jazz. He's probably going to miss many more after that, based on what it looked like, the knee injury looked like. So the Shea thing after the All-Star break, if the Thunder finish with the 1 seed, and like I really think that we're going to see a late push. Like you remember a couple years ago when Devin Booker ended up being like top 4, top 5 because everyone was like, oh, he should be there. I think that kind of push is 100% on the table for Shea in the last 2 months. And he 100% is going to like push. If Jokic does get it, I don't think it's going to be a runaway type of thing. I think Shea's going to be right there.
Shea's already in it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Shea's already there. As soon as Joel Embiid hits that, it's immediately going to be a 1A, 1B debate with Shea and Jokic. So I don't even think it's going to be a late push. It's going to be like already the immediate push. I think the late push might be Luka Doncic. who's currently averaging 34.7 points per
fair.
game and 10 assists. If they rise up the standings and get to like the 4 or 5 seed, which they're not getting to 4, but if they can get to 5 or 6, there might be a push there.
They'd have
he'll
to
get he'll get third.
They'd have to get to 5. The other 2 guys who are in the same conference and are like top 3 seeds, there's no way that they would have to get honestly to 4. You have to get somewhere comparable.
And they can't.
Exactly.
Impossible.
So that's why I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah,
I love this talk because
Interesting race.
we're talking about this right now, and no one has mentioned the best team in the NBA, the Boston Celtics, and Jason Tatum potentially taking this shit home. No one should
He's
be
not gonna
talking
take it
about
home.
him because I wouldn't fucking vote for him either.
That's
bruh.
what I thought. I thought this was going to be Tatum's year to get a scoring title, get MVP, and he just hasn't.
happening.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
He's not that guy. Not yet.
He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it bad enough.
Anyways, man, I guess we should transition this to the point of the episode. We're over an hour in. We had a couple good rants. It was fun. I got real pissed off. Let's talk about the NBA Midseason Awards, what we're all here for.
Let's do it.
We
go, man.
are here.
We are going to decide, we're not predicting who we think are going to win it right now. We're going to do strictly off the first 41 games, or however many it is now. We're a little bit past the midseason point now. Strictly off of that sample size, who would win these awards if the season ended today? We're going to go through all the regular awards and then add a couple of our own to the end. Should be good.
Yeah,
I
agree.
roll.
There's going to be a lot of these awards where I feel like we're going to be in lockstep just because there's like, it's kind of straight to the point. No real conversation outside of maybe 2 or 3 awards. But we're going to make this interesting regardless of fact.
Yeah. Let's start. Let's get the easy one out of the way first. MVP. Are we all going Joel Embiid?
That's the only right answer.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he still qualifies under this.
Yeah, for our own midseason awards, we're not factoring games played at all out of principle.
Yeah, exactly. We do
We'll
right
put
over
John
here.
Morant.
at
Put John
TD3.
Morant.
Okay, now let's relax.
I'm joking. But no, it's got to be Embiid, right? It's pretty clear cut. We really don't even got to explain it. One of the best scoring seasons of all time. His team's been really good. Great defensive season. Great playmaking season. He's been the best player this year.
Yeah, he got it.
Yeah, best player by
Shout out to you.
far so far this season. One of the better teams in the entire NBA. It's him easily.
You're not going to win the real award, but at least you get the T3 midseason MVP.
That
give
means
you that.
something. Embiid, we will be sending you your sticker via mail. Just let us know what that PO box is.
I will send you a corduroy dad hat. There you go. Next, let's get to a debateful one. Which, wow, debateful is not a word. What the fuck did I just say?
You're in your bag
Debatable one. Rookie of the year. Donovan, I'll ask you first. Which way are you leaning for the midseason award for Rookie of the Year?
I'm going with Wemby as my Rookie of the Year. I wanted to hold on as long as possible for Chet because I wanted to give him credit. Wemby, over the last month and a half, 6 weeks, he has been everything that he was advertised and putting up full game numbers on a minutes restriction. And he's been unlocked and he looks like the number 1 overall pick. He looks like the generational talent that we thought he was going to be, even more so than what he looked like in the beginning part of the season. I think it's very clear cut. He's the guy right now.
Do y'all realize that Victor Wembanyama currently leads the league in blocks?
That is
in total blocks?
In blocks per game.
Yeah,
he plays 28 minutes per game. He's up to that 3.1 blocks per game.
Yeah, that's Jaren Jackson Jr. stuff. From last year.
3.1? As a rookie?
They're
already a
inflating
top
stats.
whatever rim protector? He's amazing.
They're inflating stats. as to
This is an easy Rookie of the Year for me. Well, let me not say easy. It's an interesting conversation. It's a true conversation to have. And I can understand and see some points and understand why people want to select Chet Holmgren because of the insane impact that goes beyond his sexy statistical numbers that he has already. But Wemby is just the better player. I feel like we've lost the true meaning of what Rookie of the Year means. This is not about who has had better impact on the team. This is just simply about who is the best year 1 player in the entire NBA. And Chet Holmgren in his first real year playing in the NBA has been fantastic. And in every other regular NBA year, he would be the Rookie of the Year. But Wemby is just genuinely a better basketball player on almost all levels of the court, except for his 3-point shooting, which will eventually come around. The defense is ridiculous. The scoring in the multitude of ways. It's ridiculous. Rebounding, like whatever you want. The passing, insanely underrated. It's ridiculous. There's no words that can be compiled and formed to describe what type of player that he is and how great of a season he's having.
Could you imagine if we switched Wemby and Chet? Like if the Spurs had Chet and if the Thunder had Wemby, they would be the favorite for the championship right now, right?
Easily. Yeah, Wemby the month of January, 24.5 points, 9.4 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 3.4 blocks, 52% from the field, 31 from 3, 83% from the line, plus 8 on a tanking team. So it's a positive plus minus. Clear rookie of the year.
Come on.
You said it's a good debate, Mo. I'm interested to hear your guys' perspective on this. I guess you just gave it to me because you picked Wemby. But Chet is a unique candidate because normally record doesn't really matter because these players are always drafted to terrible teams. So usually it just doesn't come into the conversation, right? Because if you're drafting the top 4, typically you suck ass. You don't usually get drafted to a team that has a first-team All-NBA guard. That's like hard to do. So normally we don't even think about team record. So does that mean that you're going to throw that out because the precedent is it doesn't matter? So you're like, whatever, I'm just going to look at the best player? Or is Chet Holmgren just like a generational rookie of the year candidate because he's a legitimate quality player on a winning team that's helping be a contender? Like, does that give him a boost because nobody does that? Or does it not matter because nobody cares about that?
No,
both of those things are true.
Yes.
Both, a little bit of both. I get it.
I agree. And so like Chet had to take the year off, and last year Chet was like gonna be the guy, and it's like we're probably gonna see this for the rest of their career. Like Chet is going to be amazing and fantastic, and we're like, oh my god, look at all these things that Chet can do. And then you're gonna change the channel and you're gonna watch Victor Wembanyama play, and you're gonna be like, yo, this is crazy. Like, look at all the things he can do. And that's why this rivalry that the NBA has already started to try and make a thing between Chet and Vic. That's why it's gonna be a thing, because at the heart of hearts, you kind of know Wemby's better than Chet, and we're really just waiting for Wemby to be able to have the stage to play as many minutes as Chet and to play on a team as good as Chet. Like if the Spurs were decent, everybody, and like Isaac's been saying this for the last 3 weeks, the rest of the NBA media, like a lot of people who follow the NBA, they haven't necessarily caught up to how good Wemby's been. If the Spurs were the 9 seed, like if they were where the Rockets were, everybody in the league, all the casuals who watch the NBA, they would be talking about the Spurs and Wemby and how good he is, and oh my god, look at this guy, like can't wait to get him in the playoffs. He's that guy. And I think right now it's very, very clear.
You know how I said that the Orlando Magic in discourse are getting the benefit of being good month 1 and nobody realized they've fallen off a little bit because nobody watches them? Wemby has the inverse. He has the downside of he was struggling a little bit month 1 and people stop watching the Spurs, and they don't realize he's becoming a legitimate goon now. I don't know. People have been calling me a Wemby Glazer a lot in the TikTok comments because I'm like, pay attention, he's insane. I think he might be like a top 20 to 25 player already. Is that crazy?
I wouldn't say 15? That is okay. Now that is crazy. All right, now you are glazing. You're worse than that.
All I'm saying is how many defenders right now are, again, take him out of the Spurs system. How many defenders right now are you taking over Victor Wembanyama?
Like 2? I don't know. Anthony Davis, Giannis, maybe Gobert, and then Wemby.
That's tough.
It's a very, very short list, and we've seen already when you take somebody who's supposed to be playing power forward and you put them at point guard, if you give him a regular NBA point guard, right, backup point guard, very mid, this is the kind of production that you can give when you put him at his normal position, when you give him a competent player. If you put Victor Wembanyama in a situation where he has good players around him and people have to worry about everybody else on the floor, I genuinely think that we would be talking about him as like the way we were talking about Zion last year. We would be talking about Wemby that way, and next year we 100% are going to be doing that. Like
1,000%.
Top 15 is not. If we're just going like pound for pound, take away everything else, I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's crazy going into next season to talk about it.
Oh, for sure. Next season, I can get it. Right now,
Yeah,
15 is a little high. I think I'm getting a little high with 20, just because like Anthony Edwards might be like 14 or 15. So like, I'll give it some time. Next year, we'll have those combos for sure. But right now, if you tell me he's like the 21st best player in the league, like,
talk to me in July. Talk to me in July. You guys are gonna hate me in July.
Same. Who's the most? Who would I say without being disrespectful? How much better right now is Bam Adebayo than Victor Wembanyama?
I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is the better answer right now.
Victor's better than Jaren. Victor's better than Jaren.
He's
He clears Jaren.
Wow.
I don't care. He's better.
I don't care.
He clears Jaren.
Wow.
How much better is Bam than Victor Wembanyama right now?
A little bit.
Is he better than Victor Wembanyama right now?
Yeah,
There's
I will give Bam the slight nod, and that's only because of
For
just
what?
like I've seen
Respecting
him
our
do
elders.
It. Exactly. That's literally the only reason why. That's literally the only reason why. If Victor Wembanyama was a part of the Miami Heat, oh my God, they might. I don't like this.
And I'm going to
conversation
sound
because it's
crazy to some
Wolverine.
people. I'm going to sound nuts because people find it crazy to give a rookie who hasn't done anything that type of respect. But there's no reason to wait. Same reason we didn't wait in year 2 when Luka Doncic was clearly like a top 10 player already, averaging 28, 9, and 9. We don't need to wait for Wemby. He's clearly already on that level of being a low-level all-star. He's not going to get it because the team's ass and he's on minutes restriction. But he is that good already. Don't be a person that tries to wait just because you need to see it happen more. It's fine. He's that guy.
Top 15 is coming. Top 15. It's on the way.
Soon.
It's on the way.
So what it sounds like is that like you guys aren't even considering Chet for real, or do you guys think that there's like a valid argument for him?
For sure is.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, you could argue, if you want to argue that he's a special rookie of the year because he can be the second or third best player on a title contender and you give it to him, I don't have any issues with that.
Yeah. And also Chet has come in and also been the anchor to one of the best defenses in the league. He's legitimately provided the Thunder with a next level ceiling. Like everything that they needed last year, Chet Holmgren has come in. He's provided spacing for them. He's providing elite rim protection. Like there's a difference between like rookie of the year and who we just think in a vacuum is a better player. But what Chet has done this year shouldn't be scoffed at. Like even though I'm picking Wemby, I don't want to make it seem like I'm disrespecting anything that Chet has done because he's been legitimately fantastic this year.
Also,
I agree.
if we're doing this for just first half of the year, season ended today, Chet's hit kind of a rookie wall over the last 5 or 6 games. He's kind of been struggling. Of the last 5 games, he's had single-digit points in 4 of them. I mean, 3 of them. 4 points against Minnesota, 9 points against Detroit, 8 points against Portland. He's just tired. It's a rookie wall thing. And this happens with almost every rookie. It's hard to play 82 games when you just came out of college and you played, what is their season? Like 35 or something?
It's 30, 33, 34.
Yeah. It's a long season before the All-Star break that typically happens. Vic hasn't had that issue mostly because he's on a minutes restriction. So there's that.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
We can move on to the next award. We can move on. Next award, let's do an easy one. Defensive Player of the Year.
Give it to
3,
Rudy.
2, 1, Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert.
Give it to Rudy. Give it to Rudy.
Yep. The
Listen,
only debate
man.
early in the season was potentially Anthony Davis because the Lakers were profiling like a top defensive team. They're fucking not at all. So it's not even a conversation anymore. It's so easily Rudy Gobert.
This is why the front office wanted to go ahead and give away them boatload of picks for Rudy Gobert. Now, did they overpay? So maybe a little bit, but who cares? They got what they wanted. They have a newfound team identity. Rudy Gobert is the second best player on that team in terms of impact. The main reason why they're just like on another level good. We've seen this type of good built around Rudy Gobert before with the Utah Jazz is because of his defense and how they decide to funnel everything towards this dude who has some of the greatest instincts that we've seen before, has been able to move his feet. Obviously he's not guarding guards like Curry or anything like that on a consistent basis, but in terms of just like being able to keep up and making those swift adjustments and turning his hips, he's one of the best in the league. And he's deterring almost every shot that comes his way. He is definitely the defensive player of the year.
Facts.
They have a 108.6 defensive rating in 2024. Second place Boston is 111. That's a huge gap between 1 and 2. That's crazy. He's so easily that. What I want to know is, who do you think is going to finish second and third? Because I think it might be at this rate, OG Anunoby and Jared Allen. Which is crazy, right?
OG Anunoby.
I think OG gets second. Yeah, I think we've seen a push in the last couple of years of people trying to give like wing defenders a little bit more love, and OG also has been fantastic. He's come onto the Knicks and been amazing defensively. So like it tracks out, but there hasn't been like when it's clear cut, everyone's gonna be like, all right, Rudy, he's DPOY. Who else can I give love to? And then OG's probably gonna fill that void.
100%. And the Cavs are third in defense right now with Evan Mobley out most of the year. Jared Allen's been amazing. I think Jared Allen might slip into that top 3.
That is
a lot of season happened though, so who knows?
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Me personally, I don't think I would put OG Anunoby like number 2 just because of, you know, he hasn't been on the Knicks the entire season and there was like a good 25, 30 games or whatever it was to where like no one was having these conversations about him. But I'm happy that everyone's like stuff. I know, I agree.
I mean by the end of the year though, not right now. Like so when he will have played like 55 games with them.
Yeah, that's fair. I still think it might be. Personally, I would dox him for like, okay, you have to do it for the entire of the season. Maybe I'm a bastard, but that's just what I'm doing.
Yeah,
maybe
you're a
it's
bastard.
Knicks vendetta. It is what it is. But it is what it is.
I see what you mean, but I think he's a special case because the turnaround they made is so absurd. And like by the time the year comes around, completely exactly, and it'll have been like 55 games. You know, like he played with the Raptors. He was still a good defender. Like he wasn't like hurt, so I can see him getting on there.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Let's move on to the next award. 6th man of the year. Who do you guys have?
This is a mid-off if I ain't seen one before. I'm not going to lie to you. Usually there's like a clear cut, oh my God, this guy's coming in different this year type of 6th man of the year. And it's just like a whole lot of meh all around the league. And we've seen this story before. 6th man of the year award is typically someone who just gets hella buckets coming off of the bench. It's like the Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford, and as of late, like Jordan Clarkson award. And some of the top candidates this year are guys like Tim Hardaway Jr., Bogdan Bogdanovic, and Jordan Clarkson again could be up there. I wish I could give it to someone like Naz Reid, but his numbers haven't been the sexiest as of late, and he just doesn't qualify in terms of what this award has been about over the last few years. So me personally, I think I might I might lean towards Tim Hardaway Jr., even though I want to give it to Bogdan Bogdanovic on the Hawks.
Correct. Tim Hardaway Jr. is the correct pick, and he is my pick.
I agree.
Good Clean job, sweep. Tim. That's
Clean
it.
sweep.
That's it.
There you go. He's currently averaging 18.7 points per game. Luka Doncic has missed some time. Kyrie Irving's missed some time. They don't have a ton of guard depth around that, and Tim Hardaway has been rock steady there, being the second guard or third guard, depending on who's available. And it's been great for them. He's having a really strong shooting season, getting to the rim better than he does in usual seasons. He's obviously not a great defensive player, but this is a points per game award. So literally, it's all that matters for voters.
He's getting buckets. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. As of late, he's been absolutely snapping, putting up 36, 19, 13, 17, and 20. He's been absolutely hooping. And tonight, I believe he played too. He had a great game as well. So this is his award. Congratulations to you, sir.
Shout out you. Next award. Who was y'all's most improved player?
This is kind of interesting. I think immediate candidates, Tyrese Maxey should be like the top dude, obviously. But after that, Jalen Johnson deserves a couple of nods because of the just dramatic leap that no one saw upcoming. But Tyrese Maxey, this award has him written all over it. Yeah,
this is another one in the media. Everyone decided this month one. He hasn't given us any reason to change it. He's made a legit star leap that has honestly saved the team. You know, we all thought the 76ers were going to slip a little bit after losing James Harden. Didn't happen because Tyrese Maxey filled those shoes wonderfully. Easily his award, I think.
Good job, Tyrese. We're proud of you. If nobody tells you, the deep three is proud of you, Tyrese.
Yeah. You agree, Donovan?
Yeah.
I agree.
That's my pick.
Yeah.
We got one more traditional award before we get to our couple of different ones. Who's coach of the year? This one's interesting. I don't know if y'all want to spend a ton of time talking about coaches, but there's a handful of legit candidates this year.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would say for me, Chris Finch is my coach of the year. I think a lot of times with coach of the year, it comes with who do you think is going to be trash in the offseason and then is actually good. And I think Chris Finch fits that mold perfectly. Like there's other guys in terms of like in-season turnarounds, like Tyronn Lue honestly should be in top three because of the turnaround that they've had, right? Jamal Mosley, depending on what you thought of the Magic preseason, but Chris Finch and the hand that the Timberwolves were dealt, and a a lineup that we all thought was legitimately flawed and that they could not be a top 6 team, let alone fight for the best defense in the league and the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. They have stepped up, past and surpassed all expectations. I think he's been fantastic this year. He would be my pick.
Yeah, personally, I think I'd want to lean towards Chris Finch, but at the same time, I cannot ignore what Mark Daigneault has been doing for OKC this year, transforming their defense and their offense. None of the three of us at least thought that OKC would be a top 2 team. Nikhil putting his hand up. Okay, Nikhil, we see you. No one thought that they would be this elite so early into their quote unquote rebuild, if we still want to call it that. The way with how creative he's been offensively and how he's been utilizing Chet Holmgren and Chase doing Shea things, but also like having Isaiah Joe do the important things that he's been doing. Like, this team is working beautifully, and he's one of the more creative coaches in the entire NBA. Shout out to you, Will Hardy, too. I put him up there, but I think Mark Daigneault deserves like a heavy nod for sure. He's not my winner, but
I'm going Mark Daigneault. I understand Chris Finch in terms of I think we were just wrong about Timberwolves. I think we were just wrong about their players, honestly. I think Rudy Gobert wasn't quite healthy last year. Now he is. We're getting the full Rudy Gobert effect, and that's the biggest difference. And they got better because of time, getting better with each other and everything. I don't think that he hasn't done a bad job by any means. He's been a good coach. If he finishes top 2, I'm cool with that. But I think, there's a reason we talk about their offense being so worrisome a lot. Yeah. I don't think he's done a particularly creative job making it work offensively. They're like 21st in offense for most of the year. Doesn't really move me. Defensively, I think a lot of that is Rudy Gobert rather than coaching. Then you look at Mark Daigneault, and I think it's just as impressive to be this good with this young of a roster, especially when your second best player is a literal rookie and your third best player is a second-year player. That's just as impressive as making it work with the lineup that we thought was really flawed. And to be elite offensively and defensively, be incredibly creative with all the stuff he does. He's one of the pioneers of guard-on-guard pick and rolls, guards setting screens for bigs. They just have an incredibly creative offense that I think is more attributable to coaching. I think he puts his players in positions to succeed extremely well. And I don't really know if Chris Finch, he's not bad at that, but he's not doing like an above and beyond version of that, getting the most out of Jalen Williams, using him in really smart lineups, getting the most out of Lou Dort's been great. Isaiah Joe's been great. He's using Chet Holmgren in really smart ways with the ball in his hands. I just think it's a little bit more impressive than what Chris Finch is doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can agree with that, but at the same time, Rudy Gobert wasn't healthy. I agree, but also I think something else to point out is like Cat wasn't there for majority of season 2. And seeing with the way how he's been using those two, we're seeing Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert pick and rolls. That is insane. Seeing how he's been putting Karl Anthony Towns in positions to make decisions is insane to me. And that's something that I did not see. And it's one of the most important parts of the Timberwolves. And it's why they haven't been like the worst offense in the NBA, because if Cat wasn't doing the type of things or put in that like role man position to go ahead and make all these decisions and hit certain passes that I thought he had the potential to do, but seeing him do on a consistent basis is just insane to me. But I personally want to lean Chris Finch because of the history of it. We haven't seen the Timberwolves be this good since fucking 2004. Isaac, they haven't been this good since you were like 4 or 5 years old, dude. The last time we seen Timberwolves this good, the iPhone wasn't even out. There was so much in society that hasn't been developed.
Search for a pool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Like, there's so much that's going on, and I'm like, regardless
50 Cent was out. I don't know.
They just, Usher made his song, during that year, bro. Exactly. He said 50 Cent. Usher ain't make that song.
It's all coming back to you now.
Like Toy Soldiers came out that year. But yeah, I agree. Again, he's top 2. I'm not mad at the pick, but you said the reason the Cat stuff is working is why they're not a worst offense in the league. Great, the 21st. I don't think that's a huge elevation, and I'm like impressed by that. I think it's been good enough, but not overtly impressive. Yeah. And also, Timberwolves fans don't even like feel like he's doing a good job. Like, they're actually all the time like, I wish he would do more creative stuff on offense. They have a lot of issues with him that I think Thunder's fans' biggest gripes is Josh Giddey's playing too much and that they haven't traded for a big man. So like, I think the Thunder are one of the rare fan bases that like their coaches. Almost nobody does.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, the Teals are kind of fucked in terms of just like assets and more moves being potentially made. So I can't fully shame Chris Finch because I just think he's gotten the most out of it.
I don't shame him at all.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's second in coach of the year to me, so
Neck
it's
and
the
neck.
same thing we
Those
always
two.
do. We're debating incredibly close subjective things.
I'll go to war for Chris Finch. Try me.
Go ahead. I'm not going to war for either of these motherfuckers. You can have it. All right, that's the end of the regular awards. We have 2 more awards we're going to add on to here. You guys want to start with negativity or positivity?
Negativity. That's not even an answer or a question.
All right,
That's true.
Donovan's getting a little sleepy.
It's what we do.
You've been too quiet for you've been quiet for 10 minutes, Donovan. Let's get your hatred thriving.
Listen, I'm honestly good. I just think like the coach of the year stuff is just interesting because I like Nikhil has the odds pulled up right now, and like honestly, like Nick Nurse is too far down the list for me. Like Nick Nurse would be a top 5 candidate for me, right? Tyronn Lue would be a top 5 candidate for me, and they're all the way down at like 7 or 8 and stuff like that.
Look at Jamal Mosley number 4. I'm telling you, that first month clout, bro.
I know. Listen, Joe Mazzulla being above Tyronn Lue, Will Hardy, Nick Nurse, all three of those guys, that's actually ridiculous. But like that, yeah, the coach of the year stuff is really, really preseason expectations. Who's able to outpace those a little bit more? And I'm just mad at the Thunder because I genuinely thought that they were going to be really, really good. But whenever we had our predictions, I just wasn't willing to stand on it and say that like I actually thought that this team would take the leap. And now we're here, and I was like, dang, I could have been ahead of the curve. So
I didn't think Chet Holmgren was to come in and completely transform their defense. So I was not expecting this whatsoever. I wasn't even like.
I told y'all
scared.
in our centers rating, I had Chet and Victor Wembanyama immediately as better than half the centers in the league. Like I had
You're
full
on the
confidence
money.
in them. I had full confidence in them, but I didn't stand on it when it came time to it.
There you go, man.
I respect it.
Okay, next award. Who is the most disappointing player in the NBA this year? Who wins the Scammer of the Year award for ruining what we thought would be coming for their career?
Scammer of the Year. I'm from Atlanta, so I think I deserve to get my first candidates. All right, so we have a few. Jordan Poole. Good God, you've blessed us with some of the greatest lowlights of all time. And I had faith in you. Isaac had faith in you. I had you as my MIP of the year. That did not come into fruition at all. You are one of the worst players in the NBA. You are, in terms of plus minus, you're ranked 575th in the entire NBA. That is ridiculous, bro. That is disgusting.
How many players are in the NBA?
So many players have been in and out, so that's kind of skewed a little bit, but I don't care. It doesn't matter. It goes with my narrative. Just straight up shameful. Number 2 candidate.
You got Jordan Poole. Wait, let's go one by one. Go one by one. Donovan, who's your next one?
Listen, I also live in a city where scammers are very prevalent. So there's one who is the scammer of them all. That's Jalen Green. Jalen Green's out here stealing money from the Houston Rockets right now. He has been off. Do you know how bad it is for a number 2 overall pick, right? Number 2. Yeah. For a number 2 overall pick to low-key be on the trade block within your first contract. The whole team is young. Right, they finally got adults. They finally got adults in the building this year, and you are trying to build with a young core, and they're like, "Nah." The dude who can jump higher than everybody, has all the flashes in the world, was scoring 30, doing all this. They gave him the offense for 2 years, and now they're like, "I don't think you're going to be part of our future." Right now, you're stealing money, right, and you're stealing time from other people on the bench.
You know what's funny?
You're scammer of the year.
You know what's funny? You said that. My video I dropped. I also said Jalen Green is one of the players that most approved because he's been so ass. He has 31 points tonight against the Pelicans.
Okay, this
is on a heater as of late.
No. Hold on. This is how he scams. This is how he scams. He does this every year.
2 days ago, he had 34 against the Lakers. 2 days before that, 36 against the Hornets, and 2 days before that, 29 against the Trailblazers. All those teams can't defend for shit. He is running it up on these terrible defenses. I hope for his sake he continues it. Don't buy into the hype yet.
He does this every year. There's a 2 to 3 week stretch every single season where Jalen Green puts everything together, everything starts falling, and he starts averaging like 24 to 27, somewhere in that range. He starts going crazy. The highlight dunks are flying, and you're like, oh my gosh, Jalen Green, he's here. Like he's a building block. And then we repeat the cycle all again. He's a perpetual scammer. It's cyclical. So no, I've seen your game, Jalen. I know what you're about.
I really want him to be good. So I'm hoping it's real.
I do
and
too.
He's figuring stuff out.
But I know
I
him.
don't know.
Isaac, who's next on your
I've seen his
scammer
movies.
list?
Yeah, I've seen.
I don't know how you guys didn't pick this player, honestly, relative to expectations. This is the fucking Zion Williamson Award.
Mm.
For
Oh
most
no, I
supporting player.
kind of knew that.
This is the Zion Williamson Award, man. Last year, he was legitimately one of the 10 best players in the league when healthy. 15 at worst, whatever you want to rank him, looking like an MVP candidate.
Told you about
This
that.
year, he came in. It just has not worked. Schematic with the team, too many cooks in the kitchen, whatever you want to say, whatever the reason is, he hasn't been nearly as effective. He hasn't been nearly as locked in effort-wise, especially on defense. He had the fitness issues to start the year. He was out of shape. Now he's played himself into shape, and he has some really strong games where you see glimpses of that, but it's nowhere near as consistent. He's not empowered on the team. He hasn't taken the reins to do that. Clearly, he's not buying into that like leadership role you need if you want to be the type of player. Again, the question is, does he want it bad enough? And that's fucking mind-boggling to come from somebody who we all think has a talent to be one of the best players in the league. What is he going to try on defense?
He's
I can
never.
agree
He's
that
never going
partially.
to. He's never going to try on defense.
Something I think Zion's name deserves to be brought up, but I wouldn't give him all of the blame because the Pelicans are still in that process of figuring themselves out, and Willie Green has just not done the best job, in my opinion, of putting these guys together, even though they're like, I don't know, the 6th, 7th seed as in the making of this podcast. But he hasn't been empowered. They're certainly playing a style of basketball that doesn't favor or empower him. Earlier this season, he was out here saying, I'm just trying my hardest to buy in when the New Orleans Pelicans were down in the dumps and had a sub 500 record. And so, but with that being said, a lot of the things that you said are still very valid. Coming into the season, just looking like that and not having that same burst and having the same old story, making all your naysayers just seem right after you just give us the most casual 26-7 season, 27-7 season a couple years ago with ease. It's just like we feel robbed as fans.
He hasn't been terrible at all. He hasn't been Jordan Poole. He hasn't been Jalen Green, but it's just relative to expectations. We thought he'd come into this year and be dominant and make this team a contender if he's healthy. Has not been the case.
Yeah, I think that's okay to say. I don't think this award belongs to him because there's other candidates that I have. The Chicago Bulls front office. This is more than one person. The entire front office, every single person in there. Isaac, you said earlier that there was some type of quote that came out the other day from leadership that said that they weren't interested in really blowing everything up and they wanted to stay packed with their core. Scamming every single fan in the entire NBA because we're over here fucking wasting our time talking about Zach LaVine trades, Alex Caruso trades, and you're just going to over here and sit on your hands and ruin the potential rebuild that you should be headed towards. You're scamming everyone. You're wasting your times. We've been putting in hours in the paint on Fanspo, ESPN trade machine when it comes to figuring out who Alex Caruso is gonna, what team is gonna pick up Alex Caruso. It sucks. It sucks. He deserves it. They deserve it.
This is a different level of scamming though. This is like the Masai Ujiri Scammer of the Year award, right? Like there's front offices that scam. Yeah, my bad. There's front offices that scam, and then there's players that scam, and another player that is Scammer of the Year. Listen, Grant Williams, you sir are a scammer. You came out, you got the bag, you played well for 15 games, and you have not done anything since. Scammer of the Year candidate, right? That is a high name.
He might be the real one.
He really might.
Yeah, man. A lot of good candidates here. I think Jordan Poole is a great pick. In terms of the scammer title, I like Grant Williams.
Yeah, I think Grant Williams, he legitimately just like took money and just ran off and was like, all right, I'm out of here. I'll see y'all later. He might be the one.
Facts.
All right, man. That's enough negativity. One more award before we get to TikTok time. Who is your offensive player of the year? A little bit different than MVP. Strictly offensive player of the year. Doesn't necessarily got to be aligned with team success. It's just like DPOY. Who is the best offensive player to you right now?
I think this is a pretty easy answer. And this award has Luka Doncic written all over it. 35, basically 9 rebounds and damn near 10 assists per game. His numbers are ridiculous. And not enough people are talking about it right now. For obvious reasons, of course. But damn.
Is there obvious reasons? I think he's insane. And like I said this, I soft launched this take a month ago. That I'm like, we had one question for every team episode. And I was like, my question is, how long until he's the best player in the league? He needs to be in these conversations with the top 3 big men. Like, he's absolutely insane. One of the most all-around gifted offensive players we've seen in I don't know how long. I don't want to say all time and throw myself into a loop and I'm in the corner. I don't know. Very rare gift of volume scoring and passing. Obviously, the 73-point game was a cherry on top. He's easily the best guard in the league right now.
Yeah, he has that title. He would be my pick as well. I think for somebody to score 70 points and then Luka to come back and be like, wait, not only can I score more points than you, but I can also nearly have a double-double and almost have 10 assists to go along with it. That's crazy, right? That's actually wild. And I held off when we did our player rankings. I held off and I still had Steph Curry above Luka Doncic. Man, Luka he's passed him.
We fucked up. I did the same thing, immediately regretted it. You low-key convinced me not to when we talked about it. We were at Guitar Center beforehand, and I told you, and you were like, nah, man, go Steph. And I was like, okay.
You asked me why. You asked me why, and I told you vibes. Like, that's literally the only reason why. Because there's sometimes, and I haven't necessarily seen it as much this year. The ref complaining is still there. But there were times last year where Luka's body language was so bad. And obviously, they're winning a lot more this year, right? The situation's different. And so you're not seeing that as much. But what he's able to do on a night-to-night basis with a team that for years, right, even after they got Kyrie, we've said they don't have a lot of help around him. And he has been able to elevate them to a point where they are competitive. And if they go into any playoff series, you feel like they have a chance because for 4, 5, 7 games, Luka can black out and average 45 in the series. And it's incredible.
Guys, for the last 4 years, since Luka Doncic was 20 years old, and he came into year 2 averaging 28.8 points per game and 8.8 assists, the prevailing talking point was as soon as this guy's 3-point shot starts to fall if we think it can, he's going to be unfuckwithable. This year, he is shooting 10.3 3-point attempts a game on the hardest shot diet you could possibly imagine. They're almost all, a massive majority of them are off the dribble, 37.5%. I don't know if people realize this is one of the most impressive 3-point shooting seasons we've ever seen when you think about volume and shot difficulty. He's having one of the best 3-point shooting years like ever, which is like pretty much every best 3-point shooting year ever is in the modern NBA. So like we're constantly seeing that, but he's up there. Like we talk about James Harden as low-key being one of the best shooters ever because all his step backs and how difficult his shots are. Luka's doing the same thing Prime Harden did. Like, this is an insane season. 10 attempts a game? That's nuts.
Yeah, no, Luka's just simply different. If he's not your offensive player of the year, I guess you can have someone like Jokic or whatever, which is completely fair. But the type of season that Luka's having, he genuinely deserves this award. I think the second that he has a respectable defense around him and he's just not getting like ran down every single night and people aren't treating him also like as a doormat, everybody just stepping on him on the defensive end. I think that's when everybody realized like, okay,
he's been fine defensively.
He's been a doormat.
No, he has not. He's had a good defensive season.
Doormat.
He's been fine.
No. I just think that's simply false. But I think the second that everyone else helps him out on that end and the Dallas Mavericks have that identity or closer to it being just like mid, then I think that's when we'll have conversations about like, okay, he deserves this time period, this season to be the best player of the year. Best player of the world.
I'm ready for 75% at the rim. 75% at the rim. Crazy. That's the best for any point guard in the league.
Yeah, I agree.
When was this? That was the other day. Yeah, okay,
nice.
That block's nice. That block's nice.
No, he's having a decent. He's having a solid defense season. He's much improved on that end. No, he's not. I'm not saying.
I think like, okay. Let's relax.
Defender.
Yeah.
He just is. You're wrong. He's very much improved. Like he's not like Shea, where I'm like he's a legitimately really strong defender. That's like a part of the reason OKC's defense is great. He's not a doormat anymore.
I think this is just an objective thing. I don't think I'm wrong, bro. It's an objective thing. This is just an eye test versus eye test. How many Luka minutes have you watched compared to me? The world will never know.
If only I wish League Pass had like a Spotify rap thing so we can log how much people saw
That
each
would,
team.
yo, they actually NBA
That
League
would be
Pass.
fire.
Please come out with that shit. That would be so hard. I'd
And you're gonna
flex
see him a
hard on
sicko
that.
for watching 22
Yeah,
Mavs
no.
games this year.
Yeah, I'd be a sicko for other things, bro. They'd see how much I'd be watching teams like the Atlanta Hawks. God damn it, still, even though they're in the trenches
Your
right
favorite
now.
team? Oh no, sicko.
Oh, what a sicko!
It's down bad. It's down bad. It's down bad. I shouldn't be watching right now.
Like, damn, you watched half a game of the Pistons this year?
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking.
24
That's gross,
minutes?
That's gross, bro.
Yeah, man. Sounds like a clean sweep for Luka Doncic. And that's the end of our midseason award show.
Crayon
Now?
eaters, it's time to rejoice. It is TikTok
What is this
time.
slow clap? That sounds
We are
crazy.
here. We are
It's a
here.
golf clap. What
We
is
are
it?
here. This is what some of them been waiting for. We need it. Let's put on this generational performance, fellas.
Welcome to TikTok time. As always, we're going to begin with the draft. This time we're going to get back to doing a player draft where we build the best player possible, but with a little bit of a twist. We're going to build the most fun player to watch possible. Not the most skilled with any type of qualification, just strictly the most fun to watch. Building demigods.
Okay.
Let's do it. I'm
Real simple.
League-
love.
Mo
League
first
pass-
pick, Donovan second pick, me third pick.
League Pass Warriors. Here we go.
There you go.
Ooh,
So you know how it goes, y'all. Y'all know by now. You don't need any more explanation. Let's build the most fun NBA players to watch possible. Mo, where are we going with the first pick?
Bro, I am spoiled with the first pick. I got body, shooting, handles, passing, finishing. I can go literally anywhere with it. But fuck all that shit. Give me the 7'4" demigod Wemby body. I can do
Naturally.
anything in the
So-
world.
That's a great starting point for any player.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I see where you're going. But I'm actually going to give me the greatest under the rim finisher that we've ever seen. Give me the best layup package of all time, Kyrie Irving for finishing.
Another cheat code pick. You can't go wrong there.
Yeah, okay, I see you. That's hard. I can't hit on it. I can't hit on it.
You can't.
I'm gonna give recognition to somebody who's on one that can't talk. I'm gonna give recognition to somebody on the best team in the league. Give me Jaylen Brown's handles.
Nice. Strong left.
Elite
I
two-way
fuck with
wing.
it. I
Okay.
fuck with it. Okay. Smooth. I fuck with it. That's a
I
W
see.
pick.
Now listen, this person has underrated handles for a long time, but give me Steph Curry's handles.
Ooh, interesting to not pick his shooting.
Interesting.
It's okay.
Okay. Wait,
Well,
Isaac,
see,
weren't you
Kyrie
supposed to
handles-
double pick?
Ooh.
Are we doing snake?
Yeah.
I
yeah,
was. You fucking skipped me.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you just want to run your shit back, Isaac?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna follow it up. I need some size on me. Give me Grant Williams' body.
Listen, stocky. That's strong. That's strong right there.
Yeah, listen.
Okay.
I'm going strength.
Okay. He has a lot of cushion on his body. Protect yourself from a lot of falls. I see the vision.
I see that.
Cushion. Got tush.
All right. So I have the greatest layup package of all time. Give me the best shooting package of all time. Give me Steph Curry shooting.
Ooh, gotcha. I like that.
Okay.
The best finishing with the best shooting possible. Like, that's such a crazy start for a guard.
I'm already here.
Yeah.
This is an and one mixtape waiting to happen.
In fact, this is Twitter's favorite. Your TikTok
Yeah.
views are through the roof.
Yeah, no, that's sick as hell. That is insanely sick. So I guess one of the better things that I could do in this case is shooting. Go ahead and give me Devin Booker. Very underrated.
Okay.
Nice 3-level shooter. I see. it.
Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad.
I need some elevation
a
on
little
my
Kobe
J.
cosplay. Something about that sounds sus.
Yeah,
It's not, but it's adjacent.
it's your mind. It's not.
I'm broken.
It's just you, man.
I'm broken.
Yeah. Oh, is it me again too? Fuck, I forgot.
Yeah.
Let's run. All right. So I got handles, passing, and finishing left. Damn, I have a lot of good options.
Choose
But
wisely.
really, I think I'm gonna go ahead and roll with Nikola Jokic passing. I'm unguardable, and the passes that I'll be whipping and throwing behind
You
my
sold.
behind my head, behind
letting-
the back.
But is he the most fun passer?
Exactly. I'm letting you know this
He's the best
right
passer.
now. You kind of sold. Because one, give me Giannis's body.
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
fair.
Now you're a
That's
cheat
steal of the
code.
draft.
Now you make
Steal
no
of the
sense.
Come on, guys.
Steal the draft. But you got to steal the draft. I got the next one. Give me Michael Porter Jr. passing.
Michael Porter Jr. passing. Okay,
Listen, he
I
do
see
be
the
swinging
vision.
that rock. He swings that rock.
Minute
Okay.
for minute, when he pulls it out, elite.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
yo.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. All right,
Whoa there, buddy.
exactly. Listen, Mo, you have Jokic passing. Give me.
I have back-to-back picks. You keep trying to
Oh
skip me.
no!
Settle down.
My bad.
And I'm going to follow it up. Jeremy Sohan shooting.
This guy's taking
Hey,
my picks, man.
There's not a lot of players who can
Taking my
shoot that
picks.
bitch with one hand, and he's one of the few. I respect it.
Exactly.
No one's
That-
more unique.
Listen,
Nothing's
that
more
is
fun
kind
to
of
watch
fun.
than uniqueness.
Exactly. It's kind of fun. Nobody does it like him. I see it.
I appreciate individuality.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so for my passing though, you have Jokic, Mo. Give me Luka Doncic passing.
Ooh.
All right. We're cooked. All right.
Yeah,
All right,
I
there's no fucking with that. God damn it. All right. It's cool though. So I think the only thing that makes sense for finishing, go ahead and give me, actually, screw that. I want handles first. Who has some of the most fun handles in the entire NBA? I don't think you can go wrong. Yeah, I don't think you go wrong. Go ahead and give me. Oh shit! Damn, there's so many good players right now that I can pick off the top of my
Pick
head.
one.
Give me LaMelo Ball for handles. I need to be on House of
Ooh.
Highlights all over the place. Give me LaMelo Ball handles.
Listen, sprinkling LaMelo into your player in some way is an easy way to win a most fun cheat code. Is an easy way to win a damn. An easy way to win a most fun draft.
Listen, you have one pick where you can go to the moon right now. Do not
Donovan,
settle.
stop trying to skip everybody.
No, I'm telling Mo.
Oh, my bad. That's how Nikhil motioning. I thought you were going to go
He's on
again.
edge. PTSD. That's hilarious.
Getting yelled out for no reason.
All right, cool. So for finishing, even though I'm 7'4", I want to jump out the gym and I want to just go ahead and slam everything possible. Give me John Morant finishing. This is so doesn't make
Okay.
sense, but it makes sense.
Okay. That's the steal of the draft. I was saying that. How did I not get picked yet?
There we go.
Listen, I'm already in this demigod body. I can shoot from 40 feet. I have the jelly package. I don't even need crazy handles. All I need is a simple crossover. Give me Kevin Durant's handles.
Interesting. Okay. I like that.
Oh my god.
And
I
Giannis's
don't know how you
body.
let this.
Pop, pop. What?
Oh.
Come on now.
You give no bag man a bag? Ooh.
Exactly. now we're talking. Now we're talking.
I don't know how you let this fall to me. I won this shit. Give me Kyle Lowry's finishing at the rim.
This is strong. This is strong.
You're cooked.
Kyle Lowry, one of the most unstoppable finishers in the NBA. I don't know what we're doing right now.
It's my player. I got Grant Williams body, Jeremy Sohan shooting, Jaylen Brown handles, Michael Porter Jr. passing, and Kyle Lowry finishing.
Listen, I'd love to see what this player looks like. I think you accomplished the mission because I need to see this player play on a nightly basis. I have
This looks like Mo's player in 2K.
facts.
Oh God.
Listen, okay, so for my player, I have Giannis body, Steph Curry shooting, Kevin Durant handles, Luka Doncic passing, Kyrie Irving finishing. Guys, I think I've won back-to-back drafts. I think I got it.
Yeah, slow down there, buddy. I got.
You're taking that
body.
YouTube chat poll to heart.
I got a
They told me
body.
I won. I won.
I will
Devin
say, they
Booker
told me
shooting.
I won the stream before that, and all the comments on Twitter and TikTok said Mo won, actually. So,
They got split brain, man. We have a bunch of crayon eaters watching it. Listen, I'm successful. Last time I saw Donovan's draft, I was like, damn, he won that shit. When deep down, I feel like I would have won. So I'm all over the place too. But body, Wemby, shooting, D-Book, handles, LaMelo, passing, Jokic, and finishing Ja.
I like it.
All right.
There we go, y'all. We accomplished the mission. 3 incredibly fun players to watch.
Let's do
Next
it.
video we're going to do, let's jump straight into the tier list. Let's jump straight to the tier list, bro.
Let's go.
Today, we are going to put NBA buzzer beaters into a tier list.
Okay.
Which,
This is kind of interesting because all of them you win the game. Like this is It seems
Exactly.
Kind of,
So you would think that all be like inherently S. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put them in the tier list based on how impressive they were. So not all game-winning shots are made equal in terms of difficulty, flashiness, whatever.
That is true.
Aura is carrying heavy in this for me, bro. Let's do it. What was your celebration looking like afterwards? What was that post-game interview looking like afterwards? Did your teammates celebrate with you? We will see.
Good point. Okay, so there we go. Let's put these NBA buzzer beaters into a tier list. First off, 2016 Steph Curry versus OKC.
Listen,
oh
this
my God.
This is S tier. This is the first ever Mike Breen double bang that we've ever heard on air. This is
history.
iconic. This is legendary. It's S tier.
It's honestly one of the greatest of all time, I think.
He gave so
100%.
many OKC fans that night a heart attack. He gave me, as a 15-year-old boy in high school, trauma, deep trauma. I hated this man after he did that. God damn it, winning everything. Fuck. But this is
You got
S tier.
PTSD via Steph Curry 3-point shot. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Listen,
man.
this saved the 73-9 season.
Facts.
I hate it. I hate it. This is
S
S
tier.
tier for sure.
Facts.
Next up, LeBron in 2018 versus the Timberwolves when he caught the ball in the post entry pass and hit the fadeaway shot.
This was cool.
This was Jimmy Butler.
It was good. I think the game was better than the shot, right?
Yeah.
Because the game was like overtime. It's a nice shot, difficult shot. Good job, LeBron. But if the
is
Steph
a
Curry
B to
one
me.
is S tier, this is about a B.
Yeah.
A good B.
In terms of difficulty, like, I mean, it was a hard shot in general for sure, but it wasn't that hype afterwards. I think he kind of hit it off the bank too. It wasn't a clear switch that I remember, so it's like, didn't really move.
And he did not call bank.
Next up, Damian Lillard versus the OKC Thunder in the playoffs. Right over Paul George.
Oh my
This is-
goodness.
Also S tier, Mo.
This is a clear S tier. Him barking back and forth with Russell Westbrook and having PG-13 say,
Yep.
that was a bad shot. Out there after the game, that was sick. That was cold. Never seen before. S tier.
The wave off. Iconic Damian Lillard moment. I said the Curry one's one of the greatest of all time. This is right up there with it.
To win a playoff series, to take a step back from 37 feet, to wave off, to have the meme afterwards. Listen, this checks every Dame time. It checks every single box. This is S tier.
Yep. Damian Lillard was
immaculate.
Teflon for the rest of his career after this. This is a career-defining moment.
Nothing else matters after this, bro.
Nothing.
you're set in stone in NBA history.
Yep. All right, next up, Jason Tatum versus the Nets in the playoffs.
Oh hell nah. I want to put this as a C.
That spinning layup, he was
Yeah,
spinning
just-
around like Pascal Siakam. He went Beyblade mode.
Yeah, it's just a weak layup. It's just bad defense. Like, how do we just get a wide open layup? This is terrible.
Layup game
It's
winners
not-
are
it's
some
not
of
terrible,
the worst
but it's
game
like-
winners in
good
NBA,
job.
bro. They're fake game, not fake game winners, but they just don't hit the same, bro. It was hard, but it's like, come on, man. Like, there's no aura to this whatsoever. There's no
Yeah,
no hezzy.
Exactly.
There's no none.
The further your shot is from the rim, the more aura it has. I'm fine with C.
Yeah, C for sure.
Good job.
Next up, Paul Pierce saying, "I called game."
Go to
This
hell.
is
This
hard.
a F.
This is hard.
No, it's not.
What?
F.
How?
Barely
Why are you
move.
hating?
You know why I'm hating?
This is, oh yeah, because he did this against the Atlanta Hawks. Put this in A. Put this in A. This is old Paul Pierce. Past the Brooklyn Nets. He was running on one leg, came back and hit a game winner and gave an iconic quote. This is A.
Yeah,
This did not
just
move
off of
anywhere.
like, this is an A strictly because you don't expect this era Paul Pierce to be doing this type of shit. Pure surprise. He was not expecting to take that last shot, and he nailed that shit. Got to be A.
On a team with
Traveled
Bradley
on that
Beal and
play.
John
Who
Wall,
cares?
Paul Pierce had to save the day. Come on, guys.
And they kind of quote to go along with it. A2.
Facts.
He traveled, didn't count.
Hawks suck in
Shut
every
up.
era. They suck in every era.
Lame.
Next up, Kawhi Leonard's 4 bounce shot versus the 76ers.
Oh man, he sent Embiid
Where are we
home
putting this?
crying, quite literally, bro. I
This
think
is an S tier because he single-handedly ruined Embiid's playoff reputation. If this shot didn't go in, Embiid would be going to the conference finals and would not be dealing with half the slack he deals with now. And I think that's hilarious. S tier.
That is true. That is true. Off of straight luck off of straight 4 bounces. That is the luckiest and also most accurate game-winning shot of all time. Yeah, I'll
and it led to a chip too. The implications are crazy.
In a game 7? Yeah. Stakes couldn't be higher.
Yeah, for the series, this has to be a S tier.
Love it. Next up, Wendell Carter's tip-in shot.
When did he do
first
this?
F.
He did this last year. He hit a game winner off of a tip in where Markelle Fultz also jumped for it, and Wendell Carter stole the game winning tip in from him.
Boo! This is weak.
Now Wendell, we're not giving you an F because you are Wendell. You're still a great player, but in terms of aura, it doesn't move us, bro. Tip in game winners, no aura.
All right, what about Luka Doncic's step back 3 against the Clippers in the bubble?
If I remember properly, this is also S tier because I think Mike Breen also gave this a double bang. Listen, there's only been like 3 or 4 in NBA history. There's only a certain amount of time that Mike Breen pulls out the double bang. This is one of them.
And it's also over Paul George. Step back 3 over Paul George to win a game, S tier.
I mean, listen, that kind of makes it less impressive because Paul George, everybody hits a game winner over Paul George. It's not like it's rare.
Yeah, he established himself as the Clippers owner. He is Mr. Clipper. He is the best Clipper to ever exist because of that shot,
He lost
bro.
the series.
He lost the series, but it don't matter, bro.
I'll go A tier.
The slander on Twitter that night was peak. I remember that too. S tier
Facts.
for me. But A tier.
Also, on the Black Lives Matter logo, crazy disrespectful.
Allegations.
Crazy disrespectful.
I'll go A tier. Last one. Anthony Davis winning the All-Star game with free throws.
This is move Wendell Carter up to a D. This is F. This is F. I've never seen a more anticlimactic moment than this. If there was ever an argument for the NBA to go away from what they do in the All-Star game, this is it. It can't end like this. It can't happen.
Hey, technically it's a buzzer beater.
No, there's no buzzer.
Yeah, nah. This is terrible. This is a genuine F. No excitement. Ruined the All-Star game.
Shout out Wendell Carter for indirectly benefiting from the lameness of Anthony Davis's game-winning free throws.
God damn.
That's crazy. Everybody in the crowd is just like, oh, I guess it's over now. Like, bro, it's just weird. On free throws, get out of here.
Not fun. All right, next thing we're going to do. Listen, a couple weeks ago, we did a blind ranking of NBA big men. And I bamboozled you, I guess, because Donovan got incredibly pissed off. He was like, I need to start hosting these, blah, 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 blah. So,
because Isaac be
playing around. He's going to host a blind ranking. And we're going to do blind ranking of guards.
Y'all ready?
Don't
see. I think that I have a pretty good list here. We'll see what's going down. All right, but now listen. Let's blind rank these NBA guards.
Okay.
Jamal Murray.
Ooh, he might be 3 or 4. Isaac.
I was gonna say 2 or 3, so we'll split the difference and go 3.
Okay, yeah, 2's too high. I'm gonna go 3.
I agreed. 2's he might fuck with us and only put one great player here and put a bunch of bums. So I was thinking maybe 2, but I'm fine with 3.
If he does put a bunch of bums, Donovan, you're a terrible guy.
Yeah, go to hell. We'll wait. We'll leave those allegations till they come.
We're one name in, right? I don't like this slander. Let's see the rest of the list. All right.
If I see Killian Hayes, I'm gonna freak out.
Next name, De'Aaron Fox.
Ooh, he's better for sure. He's better.
Putting one wouldn't be crazy because there's only 5 guards better than him.
2's perfect though. That's comfortable.
2's safe though, because I think this is point guards and shooting guards, so I'm cool with 2.
Yeah, I agree. 2 is safe for him.
It's just point guards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm cool with 2 just because I feel a Steph Curry coming. I feel Luka Doncic coming.
Luka,
our radar's going off.
Maybe Tyrese Halliburton. We'll see what happens.
LaMelo Ball.
I should have put Jamal Murray at 4.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Jamal's better right now, at least. I think 4 is solid. That's not bad.
Yeah, actually, no, you're right. Let me retract that.
Yeah, like Jamal's fucking proven not like a motherfucker, and LaMelo Ball's over here laughing his ass off while his team's getting his
Question
back
is,
blown out. So it's like, come on now.
do we think he put 5 good players? Do we got to put LaMelo at 5? Or do we go at 4 in case he put a bum?
Nah, LaMelo got to be at 4.
Okay, LaMelo at 4 is fine.
Yeah. LaMelo's bum insurance.
I think that we're pretty soon going to say LaMelo's better than Jamal, but he's earned it the right to be better than LaMelo right now, who's always hurt.
All
I
right.
agree.
You better not put 5
Maxey.
All-Stars. I see it coming.
Oh, shit. God damn it.
I
should've
knew
put
it. I
LaMelo
knew he
at
put 5
5.
good players.
God, I fucking hate you, Isaac. Oh my God, I love you, but I hate
Okay.
you. You fail me every time. Damn.
What did I do?
Oh my God.
I suggested putting LaMelo at 5. Don't blame this on me. You're the one that loves his haircut too much to put him too low.
Oh my God, he doesn't even have the same haircut anymore. He cut his hair actually.
You got them all.
You would know.
You love it. Facts. You're keeping up with his fucking barber. You're looking at his barber on IG.
Hey man, I like to be
I
updated
bet.
league wide.
I bet that he put a bum at 5 for the last player. So I'm gonna go Tyrese Maxey at 1. I bet that he put someone like Killian Hayes at the end.
If you fail me, then I'm coming to your house tomorrow, bro, and I'm stealing.
Okay,
your
Tyrese Maxey at 1.
All right.
Who's the last player?
The last player is Jalen Brunson.
Oh.
Okay. Either way, I don't want to put either of them at 5. So
Yeah.
listen, this list is awful. This is the worst blind ranking I've ever seen. There's no rhyme or reason for any of these placements, but here we are.
This is ugly. How am I gonna explain this list? It's inexplainable. You can't do it.
This is a terrible list for a terrible game. I hate you.
Oh my God, I'm stealing.
I like
your
being on
socks
this side.
tomorrow.
I'm gonna have
Isaac.
to start
Fuck,
hosting
man.
Yeah, we should have put Tyrese Maxey at 5.
Yeah. Oh
If
my
we would have did
gosh.
that and put Jalen at 1, it wouldn't have been indefensible.
Isaac, I'm coming to your house.
But
and
it
I'm
is
having your
now.
hot
This
water
list
turned
sucks.
off. This is not fair. I am not having a good time right now.
Me neither.
You said turn his hot water off. That's
Yeah. No Wi-Fi tomorrow
wild.
for you.
All right, that's the end of the blind ranking. We did an absolutely atrocious job. Roast us as you will.
I'm
Next
just
thing we're
sick
going
to
to
my
do,
stomach.
let's do a little bit of basketball talk.
okay.
We're doing a lot of unserious stuff.
Hoops talk.
We're going to talk about current NBA players and give them a comparison from past decades of players that remind us of them. You know, last time we picked old players and gave them their current day comparison. We're going to flip it on its head a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. It's gonna be interesting.
Take my
Okay.
my sip of water.
So much. There's so many NBA players right now who have similar comparisons to him. Some are perfect, some are not. But this is gonna be interesting regardless.
Yeah. So real simple. I'm gonna name a current NBA player. You tell me who their past comparison is. First off, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Ooh.
This is hard because we really had never seen anybody like him. But
Nope.
who was the run and dunk man before Giannis?
1993
I guess-
Shaquille O'Neal.
That's what I was gonna say. I think early Shaq is probably the closest we can get to just run and dunk, and just
Exactly.
physically overpower you.
100%. Shaq grew up in an era that rewarded being down low and being big and slow and playing from under the rim. If he came up today with the space and mobility needed from someone like Giannis, he'd be playing the same way.
Oh man, yeah. It's not a perfect comparison though because of the playmaking chops, and I mean Shaq wasn't like an absolute. He didn't have oven mitts for hands, but at the same time, I think we underrate that aspect. So I guess it's the perfect. It's
Shaq's a
it's
solid
an
passer. Shaq wasn't a horrible passer. He wasn't like a black hole.
Yeah, but I think that's fine. I think that's a fine comparison. Let's roll with it.
That's the best one we're gonna get.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe David Robinson if you want to go another really athletic big that can move. But he had more refined post game.
Okay, young Shaq. What's next? I like it.
Who's next? Jason Tatum.
Honestly, listen, Paul Pierce is kind of right there.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Paul Pierce is right there, right? You have this archetype, somebody who they really like to play in the mid range. They like he's big, he's rangy, but he's not like crazy athletic. He's not gonna blow by you every single time, right? I think that's kind of fair.
Yeah. Jason Tatum's a little bit more athletic, but not as athletic as like Kobe or whatever. So I like that.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's an okay comparison.
Yeah, just okay. Who else is another option?
He's so unique. It's hard. It's hard for not.
Is
unique.
he that unique?
My bad. He's not unique. It's like he's such an oak. He's a great player, but he's not elite. And back in that time period, I guess some people want to say like a Melo, but that's kind of yuck because he's not that cerebral.
I'll say this. If this old guy liked to step back three more, could you see this? Joe Johnson.
Oh, it's like a supercharged. Yeah, if Joe Johnson was like 10% better at everything and became a superstar, I can see that.
Like if Joe Johnson came up today, would that be Jason Tatum?
Yeah, Tatum's better, but in terms of style of play, I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, he's supercharged Joe Johnson. Let's go with that.
I don't hate it. I sold Joe.
Celtics fans, you feel disrespected, but deal with it.
Listen, hey, Joe Johnson was a bucket. Still a bucket.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, if Joe Johnson loved defense, here we go.
Exactly.
Next up, Jalen Brunson.
We just need this. This is 100% is just going to be an old guard who just got their way into the paint, just nonstop. Exactly.
Yeah, he plays old still. He plays like a 90s point guard.
Who's an old guard who just loves to post up? This is like
there's not a lot of them.
I know, but this is like if Mark Jackson knew how to shoot, right? Like
I like that.
Right. If Mark Jackson if he had a real jumper, he would be Jalen Brunson. Just backing people down, right? Playmaker, can do some stuff off the dribble. That's kind of where I see it.
That's
I kind of feel like he's a short Penny Hardaway. Like if Penny Hardaway was 5 inches shorter.
That's actually crazy. That might be disrespectful to Penny because Penny can jump out the gym. Jalen Brunson's not doing that.
Yeah, true. Back comparison.
That's hilarious.
But like the movement style, I don't know. Like he's more athletic. Oh, never mind. Back comparison because he's not short and he doesn't shoot like that. So maybe not. Who's another one? I'm trying to think of like
a Tim Hardaway, somebody that's kind of like herky jerky a little bit. Can go.
Does he got a little bit of Darren Williams in him?
I mean, in terms of size and like how he can move, I think that's not a terrible comparison.
Yeah, I feel like the crossover and the dribble moves are very similar. With it's also very weird because left-handed people just look different than the rest of the world. I can't explain it. They're odd people, so it's hard to find it's hard to find like accurate comparison for them.
Yeah, it's also hard to think of like because he's not an all-time great point guard, so it's hard to think of like mid-level point guards from back in the day. So I'm trying to think of like the 10th best point guard from each decade.
I know, that's hard. And then about his play style too, it's so versatile and just how he has a ratchet. So with how he's pulling it too, it's hard. I think he's a combination of a lot of guards. Like I will throw in Mike Conley alongside that. Yeah,
this man's watching Winning Times.
Yeah,
I don't know. All right, move on to the next one.
Bring Winning Time back. We need that.
Facts. Save the show, please.
Please.
Devin Booker.
Kobe Bryant. I see.
Yeah, let's just say Kobe.
I think young Ray Allen reminds me of Devin Booker.
Really?
I was gonna say Reggie Miller.
Good. I think Devin Booker's a little more athletic. Maybe I'm not giving Reggie his credit, but I think Devin Booker has a little more straight line speed.
What version of Ray Allen are you talking about? I just think it just because I think a big part of Ray's game, I mean of Book's game, like is underrated, is his off ball movement. That's why I picked Reggie. Ray I guess Ray did that too though. So yeah, I don't hate that.
I just think Devin Booker has like underrated athleticism while also being a great shooter. But it's like Ray Allen whenever he wasn't quite as dunking like he was, but he still had a combination to get into the rim.
Yeah. So yeah, like 07, 08. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's good.
He's 32-year-old Ray Allen.
Damn, that sucks. What are you trying to say about Devin Booker?
What do you mean that sucks?
Ray Allen was still
what about 29-year-old Ray Allen? Yeah.
Damn.
Who else? Devin Booker probably feels like a lot of players. A little bit of Chris Mullin in his game.
Oh, Chris Mullin. I didn't even think about that one. That's a good comparison.
Also, time out. Can we go back to Jalen Brunson? The name just popped into my head. Ben Gordon.
Ben Gordon. Okay.
Listen. Ben
gross.
Listen, I'm a huge Ben Gordon fan. Ben, like a less athletic Ben Gordon, but his ability to be like a small guard, still be able to rise up above people, right? Take kind of hard shots, be a little bit herky jerky. I see that with Jalen Brunson.
Okay. Not a bad comparison. That's
Nice
super
deep cut.
interesting. Yeah, it's deep as fuck. Folks watching this
Love
like,
it.
Ben Gordon, who?
I know who Ben Gordon is, but I haven't thought about him in a decade.
Yeah, bro.
I love Ben Gordon. I watch Ben Gordon highlights kind of often. I'm not gonna lie.
You're a sicko.
No, that's even worse than me watching Carlos
I'm not
Boozer
gonna
highlights, bro. He was nice with the Bulls.
That's wild.
It's the same
during
era.
those days.
All right, the next player. Let's move on past Devin Booker. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Ooh.
This is
Pass
hard.
comparison for him.
Penny
Pass
Hardaway,
comparison
but
for
slow.
him.
Listen,
Say it.
Yeah,
you guys are gonna hate me. Is this just less athletic Michael Jordan?
What the fuck did you just say?
I'm saying just in play style. You're talking about somebody who operates from the mid range exclusively, right?
No.
Defensively plays very well, right? On the wing, steals, gets into the passing lane, gets a lot of steals. Is physical, 6'4", 6'5". Again, doesn't have the athleticism of MJ. But if we're just pulling up highlights,
No.
hey,
I got an even
Sure,
better
this is
one.
less. Go
This
ahead.
dude is the peak version of Sean Livingston. This is what Sean Livingston should have looked like before his cataclysmic injury.
is Sean Livingston worse than less athletic MJ? Is that more
Sean Livingston
disrespectful?
was nice.
No, less athletic MJ was disrespectful to MJ. Sean Livingston is disrespectful to SGA.
No, what? Are you kidding me?
No.
This
What he
poke was
is I saw
lethal.
somebody call him the reverse Flash as a nickname because he's just the opposite player of Dwayne Wade, where they just both spam the rim, but Dwayne Wade does it with speed. Shea does it with like change of space and slowness. I think he's like slightly different Dwayne Wade.
He's
I
so
love
unique, bro. He's basketball archetype breaking right now.
Yeah, slow MJ's. I mean, lower athleticism MJ is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's wild.
He's in
Is he
his own
just
tier.
the greatest player of all time?
That's crazy. All right, who's next? Rudy Gobert.
Man, that man is the Kimbe Mutombo. That's what that is. Listen, DPOY every year, right? Amazing defender in the paint. Can't score to save his life, right? Doesn't have a post move committed to memory that he can perform 2 times in a row. But that's Rudy Gobert.
No, this is reincarnation in another country. This is the Dikembe Mutombo.
Damn.
This is him.
Some people are going to say it's disrespectful because they hate Rudy Gobert. I don't care what you say. It's accurate.
Nah, Dikembe Mutombo was genuinely like that, man. The gameplay, the archetype is ridiculous. You can't say anything about that. I think you guys are correct. Shot blocking is crazy.
Facts.
What's next? Anthony Davis.
I don't even know.
Current day Anthony Davis is easier to compare, for sure.
I think it's Kevin Garnett with worse passing.
I was gonna say
It's probably the best comparison. In
Right
terms of the
now?
mobility for that size, versatile defensively, whatever, the best version of AD, whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he doesn't have the passing, but the versatility defensively, he can guard guards better than most people his size, can move way better than most people his size. I think that's the best we're going to do.
All right.
Yeah.
You got it.
There's
I have no idea
you
how
don't
to,
see no dog, that's why.
that's yeah,
You can't
that's
just better, but it's the best comparison.
okay, you got it. I'm not gonna fight you on this one.
You're just dying to be like, no, he sucks. He's a baby. I hate him.
No, I just don't
Chris
know how
Kaman,
to-
goddammit.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, Donovan's been like Martian Gortat.
Ew.
Listen, do I want to be on record saying that he's a supercharged Andrew Bynum? I don't know, but like,
Oh.
here we are. Here we are.
All right, who's next? Paul George.
This
he's
is-
up there with the T-Max of the world.
That's what I was gonna
Yep.
say. This
Tracy
is
McGrady's the
McGrady.
answer. Yep.
Yeah, he's Tracy McGrady with
Cool.
social media.
We all agree.
Yeah, real simple. Tracy McGrady.
No, just a smooth score. Somebody who can go out on any given night and get you 35, 40, right? Can operate anywhere, 3-level score in his prime. Crazy athletic. Like he hits all the boxes.
Yep, probably better defender, but offensively very similar.
Yeah, exactly. It's the movement that has that 1-to-1 correlation. His ability to put a facade on defenders on a consistent night-to-night basis is what does it, bro.
A facade, nice word. I like it.
Yeah, man, he's
Good
hella
vocabulary.
manipulative with his moves.
Hella mischievous fool. That's the end of that. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about some NBA jerseys. You know, another TD3 staple. We
This is
love
our
us some
bag.
cosmetics, some aesthetics, all those icks.
Edix.
Yep, all the icks.
I feel like we ain't do this in a minute.
We did a throwback jerseys grading them recently. This time we're gonna talk about teams' greatest jerseys in their franchise's history.
Okay.
So pound for pound, what's their best jersey?
Do we have options, or we just have to come up with it?
You gotta come up with it. Think about what their
Alright.
best. Yeah, you gotta try to pull from memory, which is a little difficult. So, what is this NBA team's greatest jersey of all time? First off, the Atlanta Hawks.
Listen,
Out
the
of
ones that they
respect.
were rocking. Which ones? Which ones are you going? I don't think any of us can talk today. We've all stumbled over our words a million times. As the native Atlantean, AT-alien, what is the best jersey in their history?
Out of respect, I'd be wrong to say the MLK jerseys that they had when they went on that
Oh my
2021 run. Some of the greatest Hawk basketball ever. We had the spirit of MLK through us in our veins, just carrying us through success that we've never seen before in history. And to me, that was our best jersey. We need to bring them back.
I'm contractually obligated to not disagree. I'm an ally.
Exactly. I dare you, Donovan. I double dare you. I'm taking your card.
Listen, I'm not gonna say anything. That was a crazy run for the Hawks. You guys had Corettas on the sideline, right? Everything it was just going crazy. Good time.
Who am I to disagree?
Things are special for us.
The real answer is the one with the big hawk across the middle from the 90s, but who am I to disagree?
With the red and
That is
black,
that's
that
wrong.
is-
That's wrong.
That's
wrong.
No, that
It
can't
is.
be
It is.
wrong.
It
What's in
is.
competition?
The one from the mid '80s where you have it's like a little. It says like Hawks across it. The ones that Dominique and Spud Webb famously wore in all the dunk contests.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Oh, okay.
I see. That's
Doesn't
up there
matter.
for sure.
We have to go to the MLK ones. Next up, the Golden State Warriors.
Dang. Sleeve
Listen,
jerseys?
let's just go with the We Believe jerseys and knock it out the park.
Nah.
What?
I think the real answer is the throwbacks they wore last year to the Wilt era, the blue ones with the red letters, specifically the new version of that with the
Oh, those
modern
were
cuts
hard.
and the really
Those were
bright
hard.
colors. Incredible.
Those were hard, but the We Believe is
Really?
the We Believe. So we're getting that one.
Nostalgia's kicking your ass. This shit is clean.
Damn.
Nah, man.
You love Baron Davis too much.
Listen, man. I might be kind
Who
of
doesn't?
gross, but
Who doesn't like
give me
Baron
that.
Very likely
I'm
guy.
sorry.
Fair enough. Who am I to
that we
argue?
believe run with me, so I might lean with you, Donovan. But underrated, that black jersey from last year with the rose on it, it's a sleeper.
What?
You lost
That's
me.
one of
With
the
rose?
worst jerseys of all time.
They have like
Nah.
3 better black jerseys than that. They have so many better ones.
That one sucked. Are you
It
crazy?
didn't suck. On player was pretty nice, bro.
It was cool when they tucked it in. You can't see the rose. As soon as that rose comes out, I'm like, oh God, take it away.
This guy hates roses? Oh my god. Okay.
On jerseys, yes.
Anti-botany on jerseys. I don't like it.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, next up, the Los Angeles Lakers.
The Showtime ones in the late 80s had the drop shadow. The ones that all the Lakers jerseys right now try to emulate. The Magic Johnson era jerseys are the best ones.
You're not going to pick the Black Mamba jersey?
No, I do not think that those are the best ones.
I think those
You're
are
telling me-
elite.
You don't love Kobe?
Those aren't the best jerseys in the franchise's history.
You don't love Kobe as much as I do?
Oh, you're getting stoned to death, Donovan.
Once again, those are not the
You
best
don't respect
jerseys.
the Black Mamba? Number 8, number 24?
Take that back.
You don't even like Kobe like that.
Whoa.
It's not about me. It's about you.
Yeah, you're on the trial right now.
Next one.
Your mama card is at risk, not mine.
Yeah, that black Lakers jersey was something special.
No, you're right. It's the purple one from the 80s.
Thank you.
Oh, what the hell?
Thank you. Got caught up in the
I
sauce.
cannot tell a lie.
Oh my gosh, you guys are
Under
folders.
oath. We're under oath to tell the truth here.
I solemnly swear.
Liars.
Next up, we got the Los Angeles Clippers.
Now this is Yucktown right here.
I'm not gonna lie. All their jerseys from NBA history are fucking trash. I'm not gonna lie to you.
They have
very
one, though.
few bangers.
No, and one of the few bangers, they have the old school white ones with the cursive on it. The ones that Lamar Odom and them were rocking.
Oh, you just love nostalgia from the 2000s. Those are
That's
not
all
that
they
nice.
had. That's all they had.
It's the best they got.
You act like the franchise just has years and years of great jerseys. No, they have like 3 that are actually cool. Like,
Give me the Buffalo Braves, I guess. Give me the orange. I'm not picking any of these Clippers jerseys. Their branding is trash from top to bottom.
talking about
Do I want to
nostalgia for
choose
me.
between
Man, pick the
trash,
Buffalo Braves.
garbage?
Not for nostalgia purposes, I'll tell you that.
There's trash, garbage, waste, junk.
Fecal
What do
matter.
you want to pick here? There's a whole lot of just.
They have
going
listen
on.
again though. They have like 4 jerseys that are actually kind of cool. The ones from the early 2000s, those were kind of the best ones that they've had.
Sure. Let's shout out Chris Kaman era, I guess.
That's the one good thing that the team had going for them.
I'm picking none of them out of spite.
Yeah,
All right.
Donovan, I need you to tighten up.
Lock the fuck in. All right, next up. The Denver Nuggets.
There's a lot of good ones here. Wait, is there really? Yeah, there's a lot of good ones here.
There's a lot of good ones, but I'm
there's
easily
one
going the
clear
blue
cut
one
one.
with the rainbow.
Yeah, the rainbow sways me.
Easily.
Donovan,
I don't want to
you disagree.
answer out of. I do disagree, but I don't want to answer out of fear of telling me that nostalgia's kicking. Listen,
He's finna take Mello. Oh my god.
it's
You
the
still got
baby
him.
blue ones. It's
You
the
had
baby
the
blue
jean
ones. What are we
shorts with the
talking about
Nuggets
here?
logo on the back. You are one of
You
them.
just-
What are we
Exposed.
talking about here?
You just loved the 5th grade. You just wanted to
There
go back
is
to being a kid.
nothing. There is nothing that the Nuggets have done jersey wise over the last 7 years that beats the baby blue ones. And even
Okay.
they,
What about
those
the 40 years before that?
they're not better. Wait. Which ones are you talking about? You talking about the
I'm
80s
saying the
ones?
rainbow ones from like the 90s.
Oh no. Okay, yeah. No, never mind.
Yeah.
You got those.
You just want to watch Ben 10 every day, be a 5th grader, watch Kobe again.
I
You act like
understand
those
it.
weren't good times. Like,
I too enjoy Lunchables. I'll say that.
listen, if I could go from a Sweet Life of Zach and Cody marathon to a Carmelo Anthony masterpiece, yes, I would love that day. I would love to relive that.
I understand
I don't
you
blame
now,
you.
Donovan.
Now
I'm
I have to
rolling
pay
with you.
rent. So
The Sweet Life crossover with That's a Raven, Where's the Waverly Place? That was a moment, right?
Facts.
That meant
Peak
something
cinema.
to me.
what was better, playing Pokemon Platinum or paying taxes?
That's hilarious.
You pay?
All right, next up,
They gonna get us.
for the
They gonna
podcasting
get
Wesley Snipes for
I
fuck.
know they gonna get us.
Next up, the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all got
can't
it.
be-
I just gonna pick something from 2018, and I'm gonna pick something old. He's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, you're."
It's
you're just an old
definitely
man."
the older side of things for sure. It's definitely the
Yeah,
older
the one
side
with
of
the one with
things.
the rocket on it.
Which
Was
one?
it from like
Not-
04?
Not the navy
06?
blue one.
I kind of like navy blue one. Or are we going to the Hakeem one? I
We're
don't
going
really
with-
love the yellow color scheme.
Yeah, and that's where you're wrong, buddy, because those are actually the best ones. The navy blue ones, those are cool in like in every other facet. Like if you had a jacket or if you had like a t-shirt, they're cool there, but not necessarily on the jerseys. The Hakeem jerseys were actually the best ones.
Okay, I don't hate it. I'm not very opinionated on the Rockets jerseys. You can have it, but I just don't love the yellow. I don't like yellow and red together in most circumstances.
Okay.
I just see them as like McDonald's.
Donovan's right.
Thank you. I've been right.
That was so succinct.
I've been right.
Donovan's right. No further comment.
Yeah.
No, you can have that one. I don't. I don't blame you. All right, what's the next team? The San Antonio Spurs.
They've had the same jersey for 40 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Who talks about Spurs jerseys?
Low-key, it might be one of the city jerseys in the last like 2 years. The ones they got this year, the brown ones are pretty hard. And the Fiesta ones with the cursive font, pretty tough.
give me the camo jersey.
I was finna say that too.
they have.
Oh.
The camo was so unique.
Give me the camo sleeved ones. This is the only. This is the only different thing that they've done in 50 years.
Wait,
I'll
they
take
were
it.
Boris
sleeved?
Diaw was dripped out. It was crazy.
They were sleeved? Oh my
I
god.
think so. think so.
That's gross. I
Boris
might
Diaw
not
was
be
out
able to
here.
rock with that.
Boris Diaw was out here saluting the troops. Not even from here.
Listen, I mean, we can argue. You don't respect the troops?
Oh, okay.
All right,
Hold
so
on.
next
Y'all
one,
backing
so
me
next
down in
one.
the corner now. Okay, hold on.
We got to go camo.
Okay. Salute the troops, always.
I love the Marines.
I feel like I got a
next up.
sniper on my head right now.
Green dot.
Yeah.
All right, that's the last one.
Look at us.
Sweet.
Just propaganda.
Facts. Like those recruiters that come to every high school in America. You want a Dodge Charger? You want free college? Sign the dotted line.
Listen,
this will be a very different conversation pretty
that was
soon.
me after watching Top Gun. I was like, I'll sign up. I'll fly the plane. I'll do it.
All right, I got one more video left before we get out of here. We're pushing 3 hours again. Another long episode.
Golly.
Mo, I believe you have an NBA draft TikTok for us.
Yeah, man. We done this in the past like 6-7 months ago, and we're bringing this shit right back. A lot of players in the NBA today have had certain draft comparisons coming out. A lot of them look crazy as fuck. Some of them look a little bit accurate. And I want to let you guys know if they were accurate or not. So,
All right.
Did this NBA player live up to their draft comparison?
Okay.
First up, De'Aaron Fox.
To who?
Ooh.
John Wall, my bad. My brain just froze.
Say it again.
Brain just absolutely froze, bro. First up, De'Aaron Fox to John Wall.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Like John Wall at his peak was an all NBA guard, and De'Aaron Fox at the same time is now ascending into that, leading a team to the playoffs. They're also both very fast, can just get up and down the floor. I like that.
Very quick guys, I gotta say. Correct.
From that standpoint, yeah. I think this version of De'Aaron Fox is definitely like surpasses whatever version of John Wall, but the passing vision is just not there for De'Aaron, for sure.
Yeah, John Wall's a better defender and passer, but De'Aaron's clearly a better scorer at this point. So I don't know which one you value more.
Listen, 2017, John Wall was
Listen,
that's a guy.
Him untucking his jersey yelling, "This is my shit," after one of his first successful playoff games, it hit different, not gonna lie. But
The first time I saw him hit a three and go big B's bitch walking on the other side of the court, I was
Oh
like,
my
oh no,
God.
he's different. That's crazy. He used to throw that shit up. It was nuts.
So he hit it? Is he an accurate comparison?
Yeah, no. He lived up to the comparison. He is as good as John Wall. Good job, De'Aaron.
Yeah, this is without a doubt one of the best comparisons that's been made.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you said, fast Kentucky guy. Fast Kentucky guy. That's all they said.
Spider-Man meme.
And they were on the money with this one too. They were on the money.
It was
What's
low-hanging
next?
fruit, but they were right.
Yeah, that's true. It was low hanging. Who's next? Jalen Brunson to Jameer Nelson.
What
Yo,
the fuck?
Now
First
listen,
of all,
Jameer Nelson was an all-star.
that's what I'm
Let's not
saying.
forget.
And honestly, this might have been a comparison that we should have made. I completely forgot about Jameer Nelson. Secondly, why are we using this picture of Jameer Nelson?
That's what I'm laughing at.
Before it actually got up here, Nikhil went back and forth. I thought it was a picture of a thumb. I thought we were making a joke, right? I did not know that Jameer Nelson looked like this at one point in time. And I don't mean to disrespect Jameer, but brother, what's going on? What happened? Right?
Listen, shout out Jameer. You made the All-Star team next to Dwight Howard. Jalen Brunson clears him without a doubt. This is by far lived up to it.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
The score.
Jameer Nelson was never in conversations to be an All-Star starter. And right now there's fucking revolts across the streets because Jalen Brunson didn't get it. He's
As there should be.
If you put vibranium inside of Jameer Nelson's blood, then this is Jalen Brunson for sure.
You give Jameer Nelson that shit. Tristan Thompson's on.
Oh,
gotcha.
There we
That's
go. There we go.
Yeah, finna have 4
No
black
smoke,
SUVs pull up to your crib right now, Isaac. Lights come out, lights turned off and shit. We're gonna be in trouble.
I'm joking.
What's next? That's hilarious. Who? Zion Williamson to Charles Barkley and Larry Johnson.
Yeah, this is facts. I mean, last year I thought he'd be closer to Barkley. Now it's looking more like Larry Johnson. So he's definitely somewhere in between them.
Similar career averages to Larry Johnson right now, ironically enough.
Yeah. Listen, you get any girthy power forward and you're like Zion Williamson.
Girthy is crazy. Girthy is ridiculous.
It's not a terrible compare. It's not a bad word to use.
Yeah. You
Good
pick any
synonym.
power forward that's built like a defensive end, Zion Williamson. Like, it's very unique.
That's true. It's true though. It's true.
Yeah. He's Khalil Mack.
He's Trent
Damn.
Williams.
Trent Williams.
For real, he's 6'6", 300.
He's so big. Trent Williams is
Zion, I am
massive.
so sorry, bro. I didn't mean to do this to you.
We're
I
just
should have
bullying
known.
Zion. We shouldn't have done this. We're just bullying.
We're comparing him to world class athletes. I think we're in the clear.
So did he reach their expectation, or did he?
Yes, clearly.
Okay,
I mean,
great. I'm happy we're on the same pair.
He reached Larry Johnson, not Charles Barkley, though.
Okay.
He's obviously nowhere near Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Okay. Smooth.
Who's
next?
Man. That's hilarious.
The max strokes are just gonna be at our door.
Next up, Tyrese Halliburton to Malcolm Brogdon and Lonzo Ball.
Easily.
Wow.
Yeah.
Easily. What comps, first of all? But yeah, he's better than both of them combined. So like, yeah, he's amazing. He lived up to this.
This is actually a great comparison. If you combine the best of Malcolm Brogdon and the best of Lonzo Ball together, that's like an incredible player. I love this comparison. That
Yeah.
ages perfectly.
UCLA Lonzo Ball is what Tyrese Halliburton is today.
Lonzo Ball's passing and size with Malcolm Brogdon's shooting and shiftiness, that's Tyrese Halliburton.
Who said
I think
this,
he's a little
by the
bit
way?
more shifty.
Who made this
Who's what?
comparison? Who made this comparison?
Probably, I think it was Bleacher Report.
Okay.
Shout out Bleacher Report. That's a great age perfectly. Obviously, Tyrese
Yeah.
Halliburton's way better than them too, but I see the vision.
Yeah, this is a W comparison. Surpassed easily. What's next? We got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and DeJounte Murray, along with
You
Sean
made this.
Sean
You made
Livingston.
this comparison.
No, I didn't. I swear to God, I was on the internet. Look it up right now.
When they draft, wasn't DeJounte drafted in like the same class as Shea?
No, DeJounte was drafted in 2016. Shea was in 2018.
Oh, okay. I mean,
It's
I
a terrible
guess.
comparison. It just shows how like unique SGA is.
I'll say yes, but at the time, people didn't expect SGA to become a first-team All-NBA MVP candidate. That was never in the cards draft time. He's just far exceeded anything anybody could ever hope for him. So I don't really blame him for making these comparisons back then.
He
Big
turned
facts.
into a player that no one ever would have thought he would be, bro. For sure. Also, don't sleep on supposed to be prime Sean Livingston. He was going to be hard.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
That was
Next
next.
up, we got Anthony Edwards and Victor Oladipo along with Michael Jordan.
How has Anthony Edwards lived up to Michael Jordan? Let's see.
Listen, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Let's talk about the aesthetics.
Sometimes.
Catch him on the right night.
Listen. He had the game against the Celtics when he locked up Jason Tatum. He's been eating off that game all year long. Anytime I hear anybody talk about Anthony Edwards, they're like, "Listen, he locks up the other team's best player on the wing. He does it. He's just like Michael Jordan." But lately, he's kind of been shooting like Victor Oladipo. So this is kind of accurate.
Listen, prime Victor Oladipo was like an 87 in 2K. Prime Michael Jordan's a 99. Anthony Edwards like a 92 at smack in the middle. There we go.
I
Damn.
agree.
Yeah,
Perfect.
the athleticism and the big bodiness and just the overall, like, the insane athleticism, I can agree with y'all. Does D-Wade fit in this as well to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he's not D-Wade yet, but he's on the path. We'll see
In
if
terms
he
of
ever
play style,
makes
yeah.
the next leap.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really see D-Wade quite as much, but yeah.
Okay, I agree with that. And I think
And that's the end of
that is it.
And that's the end of the episode. If you're still here, comment the Isaac Gutierrez